The man had once been nothing more than an ordinary college student in the modern world. But during a gathering with his classmates, he somehow got pulled into the world of a novel. At first, he thought all he had to do was stay out of trouble and wait for the protagonist to clear the story. Then he would be able to return to his original world. Until today, when everything went completely off the rails. An emergency news broadcast suddenly cut across the television. At 8 o'clock tonight, S-rank mage Lee Seo-jun was killed during a mission. According to the report, Mr. Lee Seo-jun died while suppressing the evil dragon Klaus. His body had since been brought to downtown Seoul, where countless citizens had gathered to mourn him. Kim Sun-woo stared blankly at the news on the screen. Wasn't that the protagonist of this novel? Since when did stories start killing off the main character right at the beginning? The Lee Seo-jun who had just been reported dead was only 25, yet he was already a genius mage and one of the most world-renowned young heroes in the world. But none of that was the real problem. The real problem was that he was the protagonist of this novel. In other words, this entire world was built around Lee Seo-jun. If the plot had followed its original course, the story should have ended with a perfect, happy ending. But now, he had died while suppressing the evil dragon Klaus. If the protagonist was already dead, how was the story supposed to continue? Just thinking about it made Kim Sun-woo's head throb. He never imagined the story would suddenly twist itself this badly. He had always stayed far away from the main plot. So where exactly had things gone wrong? Just then, the television screen suddenly dissolved into static. Kim Sun-woo frowned at once. Why would it glitch now, of all times? He stepped forward to check it, only to freeze when he saw the scene outside the window. What were those things? The next second, he rushed toward the window in a panic. On the street below, pedestrians were vanishing one after another. Kim Sun-woo's eyes widened in horror. What the hell was happening? Suddenly, a red window appeared in front of his eyes. Due to Lee Seo-jun's death, all main storylines have failed. The plot can no longer continue. The world is now resetting. In the next instant, Kim Sun-woo's own body began to break apart bit by bit. His consciousness sank into endless darkness. In a daze, Kim Sun-woo thought he heard someone calling out to him. The next second, he jolted awake, gasping for breath. The bus driver said impatiently, "Hey, student, hurry up and get off. We arrived ages ago." Kim Sun-woo instinctively apologized, but his mind was full of confusion. And why had he woken up on a bus? Hadn't he just been in his own room? Had everything he saw, the world collapsing and all, only been a dream? No, wait, why was he back here? Wasn't this the school he had graduated from long ago? The next moment, Kim Sun-woo found an admission letter in his pocket, and his eyes quickly landed on the year printed on it. His expression changed at once. It was 2032? Wasn't that 7 years ago? Don't tell him he had actually gone back 7 years. Just then, an announcement rang out. The entrance ceremony will begin shortly. All students, please take your seats as soon as possible. Kim Sun-woo stared at the scene before him, looking like he had completely given up on life. Everything here was way too familiar. It was almost exactly the same as it had been 7 years ago. So he really had gone back 7 years. But was all of this because of Lee Seo-jun? And more importantly, why had he died? According to the original novel, Lee Seo-jun had no reason to die. Even Klaus's rampage ritual had unfolded exactly according to the original plot. Lee Seo-jun was supposed to subdue that evil dragon after a brutal battle, which meant there had to be another reason behind his death. Kim Sun-woo racked his brain, only to end up sighing helplessly. He couldn't figure it out at all. Then, he turned his gaze behind him. If Lee Seo-jun died again in this life, what would happen? Would the world reset like before? Or would it be destroyed outright? He couldn't be sure, but one thing was clear. Letting Lee Seo-jun die again was definitely bad news. So, in this life, Kim Sun-woo had to be more proactive, even if it was only so he could return to his original world. He had to stop Lee Seo-jun's death, and personally see this novel reach its perfect ending. And to do that, the first thing he needed to do was get close to the key characters from the original story. Just then, someone sat down beside Kim Sun-woo. When he saw who it was, Kim Sun-woo was genuinely surprised. If this had been his previous life, he would have avoided these people like the plague. But things were different now. The next second, Kim Sun-woo greeted the other person warmly. Ara, the second-ranked student in the second year, was one of the people Kim Sun-woo needed to befriend from now on. But his enthusiasm only earned him a cold look from Ara. Why are you acting like we're close? Kim Sun-woo fell silent. How had he never noticed this girl was so sharp-tongued in his last life? Oh, right. He had barely spoken to her back then. Just then, Yuara looked at him again. "What else were you going to say?" Yuara said coldly. "Then stop staring at me. Are you some kind of creep?" Apparently, getting close to these key characters was going to be a long and painful road. Before long, the lecture hall was packed with students. At that moment, a teacher called for the student representatives of each year to come up to the stage. At his words, several students rose from their seats. Soon, 3 student representatives stood on the platform. One of them was Lee Sojun, the top-ranked student of the second year. Even though Lee Sojun was still a student at this point, he was already somewhat famous. After all, he was the protagonist of this epic fantasy novel, the one who was supposed to carry the fate of the entire world on his own. Too bad his future self had died. Then, Kim Sun-woo shifted his gaze to the female representative beside him. She looked sweet and harmless right now, but Kim Sun-woo knew that was probably all an act. As for the senior standing on the other side, he was just a background character and barely had any role in the original novel. Soon, the student oath officially began. Just then, Yuara's body suddenly began to tremble slightly. Seeing the anger on her face, Kim Sun-woo broke into a cold sweat. Should he say something here? The problem was, the moment he thought that, Yuara suddenly turned to look at him. "Were you just talking to me?" Kim Sun-woo could only nod and answer honestly. "To be honest, I think you're stronger than those two up there." Hearing that, Yuara's expression instantly turned cold. "What makes you say that? Have you ever seen them use magic?" Kim Sun-woo answered honestly. "I haven't, but I can tell just by looking." Yuara looked like she couldn't believe what she had just heard. Kim Sun-woo could only weakly point at himself. "My instincts are usually pretty accurate." Yuara immediately snapped. "Stop joking around with me." Kim Sun-woo quieted down at once. Clearly, that approach wasn't working. Time to change the topic. Then he looked at Yuara again. "You've been worrying about your career path lately, haven't you?" Yuara's heart jolted. How did he know that? She glared at Kim Sun-woo coldly. "Kim Sun-woo, I'll remember your name. From now on, don't talk to me." After saying that, Yuara stormed off in anger. Apparently, he had messed things up from the very beginning. The new semester that the Magic Academy began with an evaluation test on the very first day, meant to determine each student's level. It was a trial by fire, where students had to display their abilities in front of the entire school. Kim Sun-woo wasn't nervous at all. His goal was to break into the top 10 of the second year. In his previous life, he had come close to reaching B rank several times, but in the end, he had always remained stuck at C rank. But this time was different. Losing to a bunch of kids would bruise his pride a little too much. It was time to show them what real technique looked like. At that moment, the first-year representative was taking her test. Countless ice spears circled around her body, and in the next second, she sent them shooting forward. The training dummies that had been chasing her actually turned around and tried to run. Unfortunately, they still couldn't escape being pierced through by the ice spears. The students were stunned by the sight. She was pretty, and her magic was that powerful. That was just unfair. Soon, the teacher announced the start of the second-year test. Yuara stepped forward first. Fire magic rapidly gathered in her hand, and in the next instant, she hurled it forward, wiping out all the training dummies at once. The students immediately cried out in shock. "Is that really the power of someone in our year? That's practically professional-level magic." The next student to take the challenge was Lee Seojin. He gripped his sword and charged straight toward the dummies. A moment later, the dummies were split cleanly in half, in midair. After finishing them off, Lee Sojin even flashed an incredibly confident smile. Yuara felt a chill of disgust at the sight. He was just cutting down a few dummies. Did he really have to show off that much? Meanwhile, Kim Sun-woo stared at Yuara's back and fell into thought. Yuara's technique was actually extremely polished. If this world didn't revolve around a single overpowered hero, she would definitely have become a legendary figure too. But Lee Sojun had been shining like an active professional mage from the very beginning, so Yuara's brilliance was always buried beneath his. Just then, the teacher called Kim Seon-woo's name. Kim Seon-woo instantly perked up. Finally, it was his turn. This time, he would show them what real technique looked like. The teacher on the platform looked at him in confusion. Why didn't he remember this student at all from last year? Then, teacher Lee Woo-bum checked the records. According to last year's file, Kim Sun-woo seemed to have some talent in enhancement magic. That only made the teacher even more confused, because Kim Sun-woo was standing on the platform, completely unarmed. The next moment, a magic circle appeared in Kim Sun-woo's hand. One of the teachers saw the magic circle in his hand, and his eyes widened in shock. was that compression threading he had just used. The first stage of threading magic was to construct the threads. Then, the mana inside the threads would be compressed, allowing precise control over the next release stage. This was the advanced technique known as compression threading, and it was normally something only veteran mages could use. But Kim Sun-woo was only a second-year student. How could he possibly use a technique like that? The next moment, the magic in Kim Sun-woo's hand shot toward the training dummies. The audience below widened their eyes at the sight. But in the very next second, they couldn't hold it in anymore and burst into laughter. Kim Sun-woo had run out of mana before he could even complete a single spell, while the 3 training dummies were still standing there completely unharmed. Kim Sun-woo nearly lost it on the spot. He had meant to make a huge entrance, but somehow he had turned himself into a clown. Suddenly, a window popped up, startling him. Then, countless more windows appeared, one after another. Outsider Tower unlocked. Achievement obtained. The clown was me all along. Just now, in front of several hundred people, Kim Sun-woo had successfully unlocked the achievement. Soon, night fell. After spending the entire day as a clown, Kim Sun-woo finally returned to his dorm. In his previous life, the status window had only opened at night. But during the test earlier, the window suddenly popped up and completely screwed him over. He ended up humiliating himself in front of 232 new students, and even received that ridiculous achievement. The clown was me all along. Still, every cloud had a silver lining. He had caught the attention of 4 main characters and gained 4,000 reward points. Reward points were a currency that only someone with the outsider privilege could use, and the outsider privilege was Kim Sun-woo's exclusive ability after transmigrating into this world. With that privilege, he could use various windows to check information, while points could be earned through the achievement system or the reputation system. Once he had points, he could use the point shop to buy traits, skills, or items. In short, it was an extremely powerful system. But when Kim Sun-woo remembered that he had only gained so many points because he became a clown in front of more than 200 students, he couldn't bring himself to be happy. Still, this was also the first time he had ever received this much attention. After that, Kim Sun-woo began checking his abilities. Sure enough, all the points he had invested in his previous life had been reset. It was both bad news and good news. The bad news was that all his hard work from his previous life had gone to waste. The good news was that he could choose his build all over again. In this world, there were 4 magic systems: enhancement, manifestation, support, and summoning. Enhancement mainly strengthened weapons or the body, making it suited for close combat. Threading magic, on the other hand, manifested mana into threads and fired them out, making it a more traditional form of attack. As for summoning and support, just as their names suggested, they involved summoning magic and support magic, and the specialty Kim Sun-woo had chosen was threading magic. Why did he choose it? Obviously, because it looked cool. Then, just as Kim Sun-woo was about to spend points to raise his mana stat, a window suddenly appeared. 50 new viewers gained. Kim Sun-woo immediately frowned in confusion. Why had 50 more people suddenly been added? But in the next moment, he grew excited. He hadn't expected that making a fool of himself once would earn him this many points. At this rate, wouldn't he reach point freedom in no time? But the next second, Kim Sun-woo suddenly froze. A total of 400 people remembered him. Why were there more people remembering him than there were students in the entire school? Then, Kim Sun-woo seemed to realize something. He hurriedly pulled out his phone to check. When he saw the video of his test online, the last bit of hope in his heart finally died. Someone had really filmed him and uploaded it. But after thinking about it again, this might not be entirely bad. Sure, it was embarrassing, but the points were real. As long as he refused to feel embarrassed, then everyone else could be embarrassed instead. Suddenly, a bold idea surfaced in Kim Sun-woo's mind. Then, Kim Sun-woo hugged his phone and let out a sinister little laugh. Hehehe. Time quickly moved to the next day. Hey, look, isn't that the guy from the video? Everywhere Kim Sun-woo went today, he could hear students talking about yesterday's disaster. Looks like all that clowning around last night had actually paid off. After that whole series of ridiculous stunts, Kim Sun-woo raked in another 5,000 points. Before long, Kim Sun-woo arrived at his classroom. The classroom had been relatively quiet, but the moment everyone saw him, it instantly exploded with noise. Kim Sun-woo tried to ignore it and walk past, but someone blocked his way. You were seriously hilarious yesterday. Watching that video gave everyone a nice little energy boost. Be honest with me, bro. Is your family loaded? How much did they pay to get you in here? Kim Sun-woo listened to their chatter with a helpless look on his face. The guy in front of him was Park In-won, a completely unhinged psycho character from the early part of the novel. Getting dragged into his mess would bring nothing good. With that in mind, Kim Sun-woo was about to leave, but Park In-won suddenly slung an arm around his shoulders. "Starting today, your name is Idiot. Whenever I call you, you come running right away. Otherwise, your school life is going to get real rough." Just then, Lee So-jun appeared behind Park In-won. "Didn't I tell you not to bully other students?" Seeing who it was, Park In-won clicked his tongue in contempt. "Well, look at that. The world-famous genius Lee So-jun wants to play hero again. A regular guy like me should just shut up and obey you, right?" Hearing that, Lee So-jun's gaze instantly turned cold. Park In-won froze under that stare and quickly called his lackeys to leave. In front of Lee So-jun, he didn't even dare throw out a parting threat. After Park In-won left, Lee So-jun turned his attention to Kim Sun-woo. "You're Kim Sun-woo, right? Are you okay? That video yesterday must have hit you pretty hard." Kim Sun-woo was about to say he was fine, but then he realized this was the perfect chance to get closer to Lee So-jun. So he immediately switched gears and started pouring his heart out about his family trauma. Seeing that, Lee So-jun gently comforted him. "Don't take it to heart. The real problem is the people spreading that video maliciously." After saying that, Lee So-jun was about to say goodbye and leave. Just then, Kim Sun-woo quickly stepped forward and stopped him. "Wait, do you want to do it with me?" Lee So-jun was shocked. "Bro, are you serious?" Kim Sun-woo hurriedly explained. "I mean for this semester's dungeon course. Do you want to join my team?" Lee So-jun looked at Kim Sun-woo in confusion. "Why do you want me to join your team? I don't really see how that benefits me. Teaming up with someone would make things easier, sure. But sorry, I've never considered you as a teammate." Kim Sun-woo immediately panicked. "You should team up with me. I have two reasons." "Two reasons?" Lee So-jun's interest was piqued, and he gestured for Kim Sun-woo to continue. "First, I'm the lowest ranked student in the entire second year." Lee So-jun froze on the spot. "You're seriously using that as a reason for me to join your team?" Kim Sun-woo quickly explained. "All JOIC tests have bonus scoring. You're one of the school's top students, and I'm the lowest ranked student. If we team up, our score will actually get boosted quite a lot." After hearing that, Lee So-jun had to admit it made some sense, but carrying a deadweight teammate still came with too much risk. Then, Kim Sun-woo moved on to his second reason. Asura had already recruited 2 lower-ranked students into her team. That made Lee So-jun fall into thought. Asura specialized in area of effect magic. Even with 2 lower-ranked teammates, she could still clear the test easily. Just then, Kim Sun-woo started talking about his third reason. Lee So-jun immediately raised a hand to stop him. "Wait, didn't you just say there were only 2 reasons?" Kim Sun-woo answered with a straight face. "That's not important. What matters is that you've all misunderstood me. My skills are actually pretty decent." Lee So-jun heard that and laughed. "Putting your abilities aside for now, I do think you're pretty interesting as a person. I can team up with you, but I have one condition. I get to choose the remaining teammates." And just like that, Kim Sun-woo successfully pulled Lee So-jun into his team. The origin of magic could be traced back to the 14th century. Back then, magic only had 2 systems, not the 4 systems it had today. But that stable dual system structure eventually collapsed. Did anyone know why? Just then, Kim Sun-woo excitedly raised his hand, because the first enhancement-type mage appeared in the 18th century. Professor Holcomb nodded in satisfaction after hearing his answer. These classic magic theories and complex formulas were difficult even for Lee So-jun. But for the current Kim Sun-woo, they were nothing. After all, the outsider benefit had given Kim Sun-woo all the basic information and even interpreted everything for him automatically. Because of that, Kim Sun-woo had more confidence in written exams than any other student. But to the students around him, this sight only earned him more sneers. He was clearly the lowest ranked student in the year, yet he was studying so hard. Or to put it another way, he studied that hard and was still dead last. Hearing all that gossip made Kim Sun-woo grit his teeth in anger. "Keep running your mouths. See if you don't end up in tongue-ripping hell." Soon, the teacher announced that class was over. After class, Lee So-jun found Kim Sun-woo and suggested they grab a meal together. The two of them then headed to the cafeteria. "Over here!" As soon as Lee So-jun entered the cafeteria, someone waved at him. That person was Shin Young-jun, one of the main characters of this world, and Lee So-jun's best friend. It seemed they had split up this time. After all, if top-ranked players teamed up with each other, they wouldn't earn very good scores. After chatting with Lee So-jun, Shin Young-jun finally noticed Kim Sun-woo sitting beside him. "You're Kim Sun-woo, right? I saw that video too." Shin Young-jun looked at the two of them in confusion. But why are you two together? Kim San-woo calmly replied. We just formed a team. We decided to explore the dungeon together the day after tomorrow. The smile on Shin Young-jun's face instantly froze. He looked at Lee So-jun in confusion. Why would you team up with the lowest ranked student? Even without the last place bonus, you could still take first, right? Lee So-jun said calmly. Because Yuara is really going all in this time. I heard she brought the two lowest ranked students into her team. Two? Shin Young-jun was stunned. Isn't that even more hardcore than you? Lee So-jun fell silent, thinking to himself that this guy was somehow getting more annoying by the second. And so, three people, who originally should never have crossed paths, were now sitting together and eating. Naturally, the sight caught someone's attention. What's wrong, Se-yeon? What are you looking at? Se-yeon waved her hand and smiled, acting like it was nothing. But her eyes remained fixed on the figure ahead. How had he gotten so close to Senior So-jun? After finishing their meal, the group headed to the training field together for some light after-meal exercise. Kim San-woo carefully controlled his mana, gathering it little by little in his hand. Before long, the magic fully manifested in his palm. The next moment, he controlled the spell and sent it charging toward the wooden dummy ahead. With a loud boom, the magic slammed hard into the dummy. The moment everyone expected, where his magic would vanish halfway again, never happened. The surrounding students looked deeply disappointed. So he wasn't that terrible after all. At least he was better than they had imagined. Kim San-woo looked utterly helpless. Can you people at least talk a little quieter? I can hear every word. This time, there was a simple reason Kim San-woo's magic hadn't vanished halfway. In his previous life, Kim San-woo had always spent his points on buying stats, spreading them out across almost everything. But the more he bought, the higher the price became. Every 10 purchases increased the base price by another 10 points. It was basically the same logic as a game where leveling up got harder the higher you climbed. So this time, he didn't dump all his points into stats. Instead, he bought a trait that had appeared in the middle part of the novel, Nature's Blessing. Its passive effect allowed him to gain up to an additional 150% mana, depending on the surrounding environment. It also increased his health and mana recovery speed by 2%. On top of that, he bit the bullet and bought a B-rank item called the Returner's Watch. Why was it a tough choice? Because he had to sell his chef trait to buy that watch. Selling a trait just to exchange for a B-rank item was honestly a bit wasteful. But thanks to Nature's Blessing and the Returner's Watch, his starting point this time was already far higher than before his regression. Just then, the phone in Kim San-woo's pocket suddenly rang. He was immediately confused. Someone was actually contacting him, but when Kim San-woo saw the message on his phone, his eyes widened in surprise. 3 names appeared on the screen: Shin Ji-hyuk, Yoon Ha-eum, and Jung Gum-tae. Other than Yoon Ha-eum, Kim San-woo didn't recognize any of them. Were all 3 of them low-ranked students? As for Yoon Ha-eum, Kim San-woo only knew him because he became an important character later in the novel. But at this point, he probably hadn't realized his own ability yet, so he wouldn't be very useful for now. Lee So-jun sent a message in the group chat, asking everyone to introduce their specialties. Shin Ji-hyuk said he was support type, with manifestation as his secondary ability. Yoon Ha-eum said he was manifestation type, with ice as his attribute, and support as his secondary ability. Jung Gum-tae said he was enhancement type, with manifestation as his secondary ability, though he wasn't very good at it. Kim San-woo immediately sent a message saying he was also manifestation type. The next second, someone in the chat mocked him for stating the obvious. At this point, probably no one in the whole school didn't know he had failed at manifestation. After that, Kim San-woo proposed a protect the carry strategy, where the other 4 members would focus entirely on supporting Lee So-jin, because if they wanted to beat Yuara, this was the safest plan. Meanwhile, at the training session, a teacher was giving guidance. You're focusing too much on control and neglecting mana release. Put more power into the spell and release it faster. Yuara was also there, practicing her magic. As the spell in her hand was released, dazzling flames lit up the training field. The teacher standing nearby took it all in. With just one look, he immediately saw Yuara's weakness. Her skill was absolutely impressive, and she clearly had incredible talent. But in the end, she was still too young, and her use of mana still had clear flaws. Just then, the teacher suddenly froze in surprise. A spell had struck the wooden dummy perfectly. It was an extremely clean release. He hadn't expected this student to improve so much in just a single day. Yesterday, he had been so focused on manifestation that he couldn't even release his mana properly. But now, he was using a tiny amount of mana to achieve near-perfect release and control. After what happened yesterday, this kid must have worked even harder. The teacher liked nothing more than students who were willing to put in real effort. Before long, dusk arrived, and the specialty class came to an end. The teacher clapped his hands. Everyone did well today. Once class was dismissed, the students left the training field in small groups. But Kim Sun-woo was asked to stay behind alone. The teacher looked at him and said, "You worked hard in class today. How has your training been lately?" Kim Sun-woo said, he trained whenever he had time. The teacher then asked whether he had been practicing mana cultivation regularly. Kim Sun-woo was about to say that he had, but the teacher cut him off first. "I can tell that you're excellent in many areas, but your mana capacity is seriously lacking. There's no shortcut to building up mana. You need consistent effort." Kim Sun-woo felt a little exposed for a moment, so the teacher had noticed his lack of mana. Still, he quickly pulled himself together and said sincerely that he would work hard. Seeing that, the teacher smiled faintly and handed Kim Sun-woo an item, saying it would help with mana breathing and maintaining his condition. Kim Sun-woo immediately felt conflicted, but before he could refuse, the teacher had already placed it in his hand. "Don't feel burdened. It's just a cheap F-rank item for practice." Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo no longer refused and bowed in thanks. The teacher smiled happily and told him he could go. He hadn't expected to get a surprise reward just from attending class, so Kim Sun-woo was in an excellent mood. But when he saw Yu-ara standing in front of him, he froze. Why was she here? Kim Sun-woo was about to leave, but Yu-ara called out to him. He said calmly, "Didn't you tell me not to talk to you last time?" Yu-ara ignored that completely. "That doesn't matter. I heard you teamed up with Lee So-jun this time. Looks like you're trying to ride the coattails of the second year's #1. But this time, first place will be mine. So don't get your hopes up." After saying that, Yu-ara turned and left. Kim Sun-woo could only stare after her helplessly. She came over, said a few lines, and left. Time quickly moved to Thursday. Lee So-jun looked at everyone and said, "This is our first time gathering like this, so let's do our best this semester." Yoon Ha-em replied excitedly, "Let's all work hard together." Just then, someone stared at Kim Sun-woo with open hostility. "Our group really is unique. We've got 2 #1s. One is ranked first, and the other is dead last." Kim Sun-woo felt helpless at once. This was the same guy who had been throwing shade in the group chat last time. "You couldn't even use a single magic spell in the last exam. I'm honestly wondering if you can really do this." Kim Sun-woo only gave him a cold look. Since they were still on the same team, there was no need to argue with the kid. Seeing the mood turn awkward, another team member quickly stepped in to smooth things over. "None of that really matters. We have So-jun on our team after all. I'm sure he'll work hard too." The moment Kim Sun-woo heard that, he was not happy. Who did this guy think he was? He wanted to ride Lee So-jun's coattails too? Those coattails were reserved for Kim Sun-woo alone. Sure, Yoon Ha-eum would eventually become a powerful carry too, but his time to shine was still far off. For now, the safest move was to cling tightly to Lee So-jun. Still, Lee So-jun's team was already completely different from the original novel. Was that because Kim Sun-woo had joined? Before long, the group arrived at the dungeon entrance. A teacher stood at the entrance, explaining the precautions for dungeon exploration. "This class will be held twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Since today is your first day, you will only explore the first underground floor. Next, I'll explain how this dungeon exploration course will be graded. First is clear speed. The faster you clear it, the more bonus points you receive. Second is the level adjustment score. Compared to your own level, the lower your teammates' levels are, the more individual points you can earn. Lastly, contribution points. The artificial dungeon has a special contribution system that gives extra points based on how much you contribute to the team. And one final reminder, every single one of you must put safety first. Understood?" Soon, the students entered the dungeon, one group after another. "Teacher Jang, you are finally back. I've been waiting for you. Want to guess which group will get the highest score?" Teacher Jang answered, "A bet is meaningless if we don't pick different teams. Everyone is going to pick Group 7 anyway, and I'm picking Group 7 too. Looks like there's really nothing to bet on for this class." Just then, the female teacher in charge of manifestation class narrowed her eyes. "I'm betting on Group 3. The group Lee So-jun is in." Just now, Kim Sun-woo had entered the dungeon after teaming up with Lee So-jun, the protagonist of the original novel. While all the teachers assumed Group 7 would win this match, Teacher Lee stepped forward and openly declared her support for Group 3. Teacher Jang didn't seem impressed. So-jun and Ara both have lower-ranked students on their teams to boost their scores, sure. but the students they chose are not on the same level. Besides, enhancement-type students are better suited for one-on-one combat. Without team support, Seojun will have a hard time dealing with multiple enemies at once. Ara, on the other hand, specializes in wide-area magic, and her team has already reached the middle section. Teacher Lee remained completely unmoved. I still believe the underdogs can turn things around. Meanwhile, Lee Seojun led the way at the front, and almost no monster could stop their advance. At this point, the group looked less like they were taking part in training and more like they were enjoying a casual walk. Yoon Ha-eum said excitedly, "Sojun is so amazing. With Sojun here, we don't have to worry about anything, right? Now I'm actually curious what the first floor boss will be. They'll probably give us something weak, won't they?" Shin Ji-hyuk casually replied, "What do you mean by weak? Like a dog?" Hearing that, Yoon Ha-eum turned to Kim Sun-woo. "What do you think the first floor boss will be?" Kim Sun-woo answered casually, "Probably a giant wolf." Shin Ji-hyuk immediately turned his head. "How do you know it's going to be a giant wolf?" Kim Sun-woo sighed helplessly in his heart. What was he supposed to say? That he had already experienced this in his previous life? Seeing that Kim Sun-woo didn't answer, Shin Ji-hyuk immediately got smug again. "So you don't just suck, you're a liar too." Kim Sun-woo found this guy more annoying by the second. Maybe he really should find a chance to beat him up properly. Just then, Lee Seojun walked over and signaled for everyone to stop arguing. So the group continued moving forward. But after only a few steps, Lee Seojun suddenly raised a hand and told everyone to stop. Shin Ji-hyuk asked curiously, "What's wrong? Is there something on the ground?" Lee Seojun said in a low voice, "Look at the floor." The others looked ahead in confusion. In front of Lee Seojun, a magic circle had appeared at some point. Jung Gum-tae stared at the magic circle with a worried expression. Why is there something as dangerous as a magic circle here? Kim Sun-woo slowly walked up to the magic circle and began examining it closely. Seeing that, Lee Seojun quietly warned him, "Be careful." But Kim Sun-woo kept his eyes locked on the magic circle in front of him. A moment later, he stood up and said calmly, "It's just an ordinary barrier magic circle." After all, he had seen the exact same barrier magic circle in his previous life. The next second, a barrier appeared in front of everyone. Seeing Kim Sun-woo steal the spotlight, Shin Ji-hyuk looked visibly annoyed. "I already knew it was just barrier magic. You only got there first." Still, even though they knew it was a barrier magic circle, none of them knew how to break it. Just then, Lee Seojun told everyone to step back. "I'll try cutting it with my sword and see if I can break through." After saying that, his eyes narrowed. The next moment, powerful sword aura erupted around Lee Seojun. As he slashed out, cracks actually appeared across the barrier. Everyone immediately brightened at the sight, as expected of Lee Seojun, the top second-year student. But before they could celebrate for long, the cracks he had just carved into the barrier began healing rapidly. The group's excitement quickly faded. Seeing everyone's mood drop, Lee Seojun said, "If I keep cutting it, I should be able to break it eventually." Just then, Shin Ji-hyuk stepped forward as well. "Looks like it's my turn. I may not look like much, but I'm support type." After saying that, he confidently placed his hand on the magic circle and told everyone to wait a moment. The others could only wait for his result. But in the next second, Shin Ji-hyuk's expression suddenly changed. "This magic circle is way too complicated. It'll probably take me about 40 minutes to undo it." Just then, Kim Sun-woo pulls him aside. "Let me handle it." Shin Ji-hyuk was shocked. "You're dead last in the year. What exactly are you trying to do?" Kim Sun-woo ignored him and gently placed both hands on the magic circle. The next moment, the magic circle lit up with a blinding glow. Then, Kim Sun-woo summoned the outsider system. He used the outsider system directly to decode the magic formula. As the characters appeared before his eyes, Kim Sun-woo understood the solution almost instantly. The next moment, the barrier completely vanished before everyone's eyes. Everyone was stunned. None of them had expected the lowest-ranked student in the year to undo the magic circle that quickly. Just then, Kim Sun-woo received a system notification. "Lee Seojun is surprised by you. His interest level in you has risen to level 1. You have gained 5,000 reward points." Seeing that message, Kim So-woo froze. What the hell was an interest level? Why had this never appeared in his previous life? Before he could think too deeply about it, a wolf's howl suddenly rang out. As the barrier disappeared, the first floor boss, a giant wolf, appeared before everyone. Even after seeing the giant wolf boss, the group didn't panic at all. After all, they had Lee Seojun on their team. What shocked them more was that Kim Sun-woo had actually been right. The first floor boss really was a giant wolf. Soon, the giant wolf charged straight toward them. Seeing that, Lee Sojun's eyes narrowed again. In the next instant, he swung his sword and split the giant wolf cleanly in half. The so-called first-floor boss didn't even last 1 second before Lee Sojun killed it in a single strike. As expected of Sojun, even a boss looked no different from a regular mob in his hands. Listening to everyone praise him, Lee Sojun felt a small bit of satisfaction. Before long, the group left the dungeon. When Teacher Jang saw them come out, he immediately handed over their reward and said, "Your ranking for the first week is 2nd place." Lee Sojun asked in confusion, "Who got 1st place?" When he heard that Ara's group had taken 1st, a relieved smile appeared on his face. If it was her, then that makes sense. Shin Ji-hyuk and the others, however, could hardly believe it. Ara's group was 30 minutes ahead of us? Is she a monster? And we were only 2 minutes ahead of 3rd place. At this rate, 3rd place might catch up to us. This time, Lee Sojun didn't seem too bothered. He placed a hand on Kim Sunwoo's shoulder and said, "Even so, I still have to thank you, Sunwoo. If you hadn't solved that magic circle, we might not have even gotten 2nd place." Hearing that made Kim Sunwoo feel a little embarrassed. He was just about to return the praise when Lee Sojun's expression darkened. "But I still failed. If I had been faster, we definitely could have taken 1st place." Kim Sunwoo immediately said, "It's the opposite. We made it this far so quickly because you were here. Besides, this is only the 1st round of the 1st week. It's not over yet. We'll definitely overtake them next time." Hearing that, Lee Sojun felt reassured and finally stopped feeling discouraged. Just then, someone approached the group from behind and came straight to Kim Sunwoo. Kim Sunwoo looked at the person in confusion. Why was someone from the support department looking for him? The person got straight to the point. "I'm here to make you an offer. Student Kim Sunwoo, I suggest you transfer to the support department immediately." Hearing that, Kim Sunwoo looked helpless. He had thought this was going to be some kind of serious offer, so he rejected it on the spot. Seeing his offer get rejected, the other person immediately became displeased. "At least hear the conditions before turning me down. With my authority, I can offer you a special talent scholarship worth 50 million won. So, interested?" But Kim Sunwoo still firmly rejected the offer. The people around him were completely confused and started asking why he would turn down such a proposal. After all, in their eyes, Kim Sunwoo had failed his very first spell and was absolutely terrible at manifestation magic. "If I were you, I definitely wouldn't refuse that offer. Are you seriously not going to transfer?" Seeing who had spoken, Kim Sunwoo felt helpless. Why did this girl keep going back on her own words? Was she the one who told him not to talk to her? When Kim Sunwoo didn't answer, Ara continued, "Special talent students don't just get scholarships. There might be plenty of other benefits too." Kim Sunwoo answered seriously, "Sorry, and thank you for thinking about me. But I was born a manifestation type, and I'll die a manifestation type." Ara hadn't expected his will to be that firm, and she was momentarily surprised. After Kim Sunwoo refused to transfer to the support department, a day quickly passed. While Kim Sunwoo was cleaning, Seiyun came looking for him. "If I remember correctly, you're senior Kim Hang-ok, right?" Kim Sunwoo immediately corrected her. "My name is Kim Sunwoo, not Kim Hang-ok." Seiyun quickly apologized. "I'm sorry, senior Kim Sunwoo." Then she asked curiously, "But senior, why are you cleaning?" Kim Sunwoo looked at her like she had asked something ridiculous, and answered as if it were obvious. "I'm cleaning because this place is dirty." Seiyun winced and forced an awkward laugh. "Senior, you're really kind-hearted." Out loud, she said, "Please keep up this excellent performance." But inside, she was thinking that this senior was seriously hard to deal with and loved doing pointless things. Just then, the system suddenly popped up with a notification. "Achievement obtained. Snail Bride. 1,000 points gained." Seeing that, Kim Sunwoo smiled in satisfaction. Was he supposed to explain to Seiyun that he was personally cleaning just to earn the Snail Bride achievement? After finishing up, Kim Sunwoo left with the cleaning tools. He had no idea that everything he had just done had been seen by someone, and that person was extremely satisfied with his performance. Dungeons contained all kinds of monsters, with many different types, such as humanoid, animal, and flying types, and more. But among them, the most dangerous were demons. After saying that, the teacher looked at the students and asked, "Does anyone know why demons are so dangerous?" Kim Sunwoo answered, "Because unless they willingly drop their disguise, or are on the verge of rage, they're almost impossible to tell apart from humans." The teacher nodded in satisfaction. "Correct. Demons feed on human blood and control monsters. They are the root of evil. They even blend seamlessly into our society. Because there is no difference in appearance, ordinary people cannot identify demons without specialized equipment. But under the two conditions just mentioned, the demon's eyes will turn black. Hearing that, Kim Sen-woo suddenly remembered something. If he remembered correctly, this weekend would be the demon's first appearance. The plot was mainly about Lee So-jun, still only a student, gaining public attention after subduing a demon. It was one of Lee So-jun's classic show-off moments in the novel. So this was something Lee So-jun should be able to handle perfectly well on his own. As soon as that thought crossed his mind, Kim San-woo remembered how Lee So-jun had been killed by the evil dragon in his previous life. Just to be safe, he decided to check whether there were any other potential threats around him. In this life, he basically had to play babysitter. Kim San-woo really had it rough, and if he wanted to follow Lee So-jun during extracurricular activities, he would need a lot of money too. Soon it was time for the next class. This class was mainly self-study for mana cultivation. Under the effects of nature's blessing, his strength and mana both increased slightly, and the training progress of nature's blessing also rose by 12%. Kim San-woo was extremely satisfied with that. Each training session might only give him a small boost, but if he trained whenever he had free time, the accumulated gains would be insane. Just then, a window popping up beside him caught Kim San-woo's attention. Nature's blessing trait effect unlocked. Heart of Nature is now available. Seeing that, Kim San-woo was overjoyed. Looks like choosing Nature's blessing back then had definitely been the right call. Although it had a one-day cooldown, it could greatly increase his mana recovery rate for 1 minute. At this rate, becoming a genius of the manifestation path no longer seemed that far away. The 50 million won scholarship was definitely tempting, but decoding was only an advantage granted by his outsider status. It could not truly become his own ability. So the support department was not suited for him. The problem was, if he wanted to remain a student, that meant he was seriously short on money. Why couldn't he bring over the money from his previous life too? Wasn't there any easy way to make big money? He could make money by exploring dungeons and hunting monsters. But that was far too dangerous. Challenging the tower was also a decent option, but he was still a student and a minor, so there was no way the school or association would give him a tower entry permit. This was such a headache. Was there really no easy way to earn a fortune? After a long while, a flash of inspiration suddenly struck Kim San-woo. Wait, he had an idea. Time quickly moved to night. Teachers, did you know? I saw a student today who truly deserves praise. Are you talking about Kim San-woo from the second year? That's right. Even in theory class, he stayed very focused and actively answered questions. His classroom attitude is excellent. That is exactly the kind of trait we like to see in talented manifestation-type students. I also heard someone tried to poach one of our students, but I believe San-woo isn't the type to be shaken that easily. It's honestly reassuring to still see a student like him these days. Meanwhile, back with Kim San-woo. Kim San-woo could barely contain his excitement. Damn, he was a genius. He had no idea what had happened, but he had suddenly received the achievement Student Loved by Teachers, along with 2,000 reward points. With this, he finally had enough points. The next moment, Kim San-woo immediately opened the point shop and selected the lottery. He had better draw something good, something that could help him make some serious money. Time quickly moved to Saturday morning. A man arrived in front of the tower. The guard signaled for him to show his mage license. Hearing that, the man took a mage license out from inside his coat. The guard accepted the license and inspected it carefully. After finding nothing suspicious on the surface, he placed it onto a machine for scanning. Seeing that, the man immediately felt his heart jump into his throat. Just then, the machine displayed a message. Confirmed. C-rank mage, Kim Sen-woo. Seeing that there was no issue with his identity, the guard handed the license back to him. Good to meet you, Mr. Kim Sen-woo. Only then did Kim Sen-woo let out a breath of relief. He knew they shouldn't be able to find any flaws, but he had still been nervous as hell. This was the item Kim Sen-woo had drawn from the point shop a few days ago. Perfect identity. Its identity details could be customized however he wanted, and it could even generate a mage license for him. In this world, a mage license was a very special form of identification. It contained a unique magical formula, which made forgery practically impossible. Just to be safe, Kim Sen-woo had also bought a pair of magic glasses that could change his eye color when worn. This disguise was basically flawless. Before long, Kim Sen-woo successfully entered the tower. Time was tight today. According to the mission timeline, Lee So-jun would fight the demon at 9:30, so Kim Sen-woo had to clear the tower as quickly as possible and then head straight to the Han River. The moment Kim Sen-woo stepped into the tower, A voice echoed in his ears. The system informed him that the highest floor he could currently enter was the 27th floor. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo stepped into the portal and told it to send him to the 10th floor. The system immediately responded. The 10th floor has already been cleared. Even if you clear it again, the reward quality will be reduced. Kim Sun-woo answered calmly. That's fine. Send me to the 10th floor. In this world, portals were a method of transportation found inside every tower. There were also many different kinds of towers in the world, and the strength of the monsters and the difficulty of the traps varied from one tower to another. Before long, Kim Sun-woo met the boss of the 10th floor, the Demon Wolf. The moment the Demon Wolf saw Kim Sun-woo, it lunged straight at him. Kim Sun-woo didn't panic at all. In an instant, he released his magic and blasted the Demon Wolf to the ground. The next moment, the system informed him that he had completed the achievement, First Hunt, and gained 1,000 points. Although the monsters in this tower were weak, the place was filled with traps and advanced magical attacks. And those were exactly what Kim Sun-woo had come for. After eliminating the Demon Wolf, Kim Sun-woo glanced at the watch on his wrist. Looks like he still had enough time to clear this tower. Meanwhile, near the Han River, Shin Young-jin and Lee So-jin had also arrived there. Looking at the huge crowd in front of them, Shin Young-jin couldn't help saying, "There are seriously a lot of people here." Lee So-jin nodded in agreement, and the festival hasn't even officially started yet. Shin Young-jun then pulled out his phone and suggested taking a few photos first. Lee So-jun looked confused. "It hasn't even started yet. What's the point of taking photos now?" Shin Young-jun laughed and said, "You don't get it. This is all about making memories." Meanwhile, back with Kim Sun-woo. After finally spotting a shard of magic crystal, Kim Seon-woo was instantly delighted. Looks like today's bus fare was covered. After that, he began feeling around the wall in front of him. Before long, Kim Sun-woo found the hidden mechanism built into the wall. As the mechanism was successfully disabled, the system displayed a notification. Achievement obtained, Barrier Breaker. You have gained 2,000 reward points. Kim Sun-woo was immediately pleased. The next moment, golden light burst out, and the wall in front of him disappeared, replaced by a door. When Kim Sun-woo stepped inside, the tower's voice rang in his ears. "You have entered the hidden inner world of the Trial Tower. The Tower of Proof has noticed you." Mana of a mysterious attribute instantly filled the air around him. Then, the system voice rang out again. "Achievement obtained, Mystery Explorer. You have gained 5,000 reward points." Kim Sun-woo was thrilled. But in the next second, he suddenly froze. "Challenger of the Trial Tower, prove yourself." As soon as the voice faded, the statue before him began to crack apart. Kim Sun-woo's expression changed, and in just an instant, the statue vanished completely. In its place appeared countless flower spirits. Looking at the dense swarm of flower spirits before him, Kim Sun-woo's expression grew unusually serious. Flower spirits were only C-rank monsters, and not especially powerful, but they had one extremely annoying trait. The moment they saw a human, they would attack in a swarm. The next moment, countless flower spirits rushed toward Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo simply raised his hand and instantly killed one of them. In his previous life, Kim Sun-woo had fought flower spirits several times, so he knew their habits very well. He then released more magic and struck several more flower spirits in succession. Sure enough, the remaining spirits began backing away one after another. Taking advantage of the opening, Kim Sun-woo immediately began examining the magic circle in front of him. The reason he didn't keep attacking was simple. He didn't have enough mana to kill every single spirit. Judging from what the statue had said earlier, the key to clearing this place should be proving himself. With that in mind, Kim Sun-woo immediately activated the unique advantage of the outsider and began interpreting the magic formula before him. The next moment, the magic formula appeared clearly in front of Kim Sun-woo's eyes. If it wanted him to prove himself, then he would show it exactly what he could do. The next moment, the magic circle began to disappear little by little. The system notification rang out. "Congratulations. You have obtained the achievement, Recognition of the Trial Tower. You have gained 10,000 reward points. The Tower of Proof has granted you the blessing trait, Adaptability. First stage additional rewards from the Tower's Proof. You have obtained the Magic Enchantment Book, Red Dragon Soul, and Holy Medicine Seed. Holy Medicine Seed effect. Mana +5. Mana recovery speed increased by 20%. Mana output increased by 10%. After receiving so many rewards at once, Kim Sun-woo was overjoyed. The system prompted again. "Congratulations, you have cleared the hidden inner world event." Meanwhile, back with Lee Seo-jun, things were about to begin as well. Just then, Lee Sojun suddenly showed Shin Young-jun his phone. "Isn't this the photo we took earlier?" Shin Young-jun looked confused. "What exactly do you want me to see?" Lee Sojun told him to look closely at a certain spot in the photo. Shin Young-jun's expression changed at once. Those eyes. He's a demon. Back with Kim Sun-woo. The demon was walking right past him. Kim Sun-woo looked at the clock on the wall, growing more anxious by the second. It was almost 9:30. Why hadn't Lee Sojun arrived yet? Should he step in himself? But this wasn't some minor side event anymore. This was the main plot. If he interfered, would he mess up the story instead? Just then, someone suddenly walked right in front of the demon. Kim Sun-woo's expression changed. It was already too late to stop it. The passerby didn't even understand what was happening before the demon pierced straight through his chest. The next moment, the demon casually threw the man away. Powerful demonic energy erupted from his entire body. His crimson eyes locked on to the surrounding crowd, like he was staring at prey. The people nearby were horrified when they saw the demon, but somehow, none of them ran right away. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo was utterly speechless. Were people in this world really willing to risk their lives just to watch drama unfold? Meanwhile, elsewhere, Lee Sojun had already taken the photo to professional mage Jung Hyun-ju. These eyes. He has to be a demon. And of course, it happens during a festival. The more blood demons absorb, the stronger they become. And this place is packed with people. Just then, Lee Sojun suddenly sensed a powerful surge of demonic energy. Mage Jung Hyun-ju sensed it too, and immediately called for the two of them to run toward the source. Back at the festival, the onlookers were still gathered around the demon. Kim Sun-woo stared at the demon ahead, anxiety tearing through him. Lee Sojun still hadn't arrived. If Kim Sun-woo acted now, he would definitely affect the plot. But if he didn't act, the girl in front of the demon was going to die. Suddenly, the demon let out an enraged roar. The girl finally snapped back to her senses and ran the other way, but the demon immediately chased after her. Seeing the demon go after her, Kim Sun-woo was torn between hesitation and panic. The next moment, a spell manifested in his hand, and Kim Sun-woo poured every bit of his mana into it. Then he launched the attack at the demon in the distance. With a loud bang, the spell struck the back of the demon's head with perfect accuracy. But the demon barely took any damage. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo's mouth went dry, and he swallowed hard. At that moment, the demon slowly turned his head and locked his eyes on the man who had attacked the back of his head. The next second, the wound on his body began healing by itself, returning to normal almost instantly. Kim Sun-woo was shocked. He hadn't expected an attack that used up all his mana to barely scratch the demon. This was definitely not an opponent his current self could face head-on. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo turned and ran. Seeing that, the demon let out an enraged roar, demonic energy surging wildly around him. Then, the demon leaped over Kim Sun-woo's head and landed heavily in front of him. Seeing that he could no longer buy time by running, Kim Sun-woo actually calmed down. If this thing refused to let him leave, then so be it. In the next second, Kim Sun-woo activated Heart of Nature. For 1 minute, his mana recovery speed increased dramatically. In an instant, countless spells formed around Kim Sun-woo. The next moment, those spells surged toward the demon all at once. Even the demon was clearly startled by the sight. He retreated while raising his arms to block. He was obviously trying to create some distance and buy time to recover. But Kim Sun-woo's attacks kept coming without pause, giving him no chance to breathe. The demon had no choice but to raise his arms again and forcefully block. Seeing that ordinary spells weren't enough to suppress him, Kim Sun-woo immediately charged several stronger spells. A moment later, the magic slammed into the demon's chest and even pierced straight through his arm. The intense pain made the demon roar in fury, as if he wanted to tear the man in front of him apart on the spot. Seeing that his magic could pierce the demon's arm, Kim Sun-woo finally gained a bit of confidence. At this rate, wearing him down would only be a matter of time. But he had forgotten one thing. Time was exactly what he lacked most. The next moment, Heart of Nature's active boost disappeared completely. Cold sweat immediately ran down Kim Sun-woo's face. He hadn't expected 1 minute to pass that quickly. And at that same moment, the wounds on the demon's body began healing again. In the brief instant Kim Sun-woo froze, most of those wounds had already recovered. Seeing that, panic surged through him. His trump card was gone, and his mana was nearly drained. Was it still not enough? Was he really going to die here today? Suddenly, the demon's head was sliced clean off. In a single instant, his once complete body was cut into pieces. Jung Hyun-ju reported calmly, "Headquarters, The scene is secure. This is Special Forces Agent Jung Hyun-ju. Then she looked at Kim Sun-woo. Thanks to you, this was resolved much more easily. May I see your mage license? We need to verify your identity before issuing the reward. Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo immediately handed over his license. After taking it, Jung Hyun-ju looked confused. She hadn't expected someone who was only C rank to hold off a demon for that long. She had assumed he was at least a B rank mage. Just then, Lee So-jun and Shin Young-jun also arrived at the scene. Seeing the two of them appear, Kim Sun-woo panicked inwardly. Lee So-jun and Shin Young-jun were here, and he had basically stolen their spotlight just now. Hopefully, this wouldn't affect the plot too much. Meanwhile, Lee So-jun, who had just arrived at the scene, looked at Kim Sun-woo talking up ahead, his heart filled with confusion. Was it just his imagination? This was clearly the first time he had seen this man, so why did he feel strangely familiar? With that thought in mind, Lee So-jun walked toward Kim Sun-woo. Excuse me, do you know Kim Sun-woo? Kim Sun-woo's heart skipped a beat. But after thinking about it again, there was no way his fake identity could be seen through that easily. Lee So-jun continued. He's my classmate at the Magic Academy. I feel like you have a lot in common with him. Kim Sun-woo could only force himself to answer. Sorry, this is my first time hearing that name. Jung Hyun-ju also stepped forward and said, that sense of similarity might simply come from the two of them sharing certain traits. After saying that, she turned back to Kim Sun-woo and thanked him again. This really went much more smoothly, thanks to you holding off the demon. Kim Sun-woo smiled faintly. I only did what I had to do. But that expression made Lee Seo-jun, who was about to leave, narrow his eyes slightly. That strange sense of déjà vu had appeared again. Jung Hyun-ju said, reporters and staff will be here soon to handle the scene. If there's nothing else, I'll be going first. Kim Sun-woo also thanked her. I only survived because you arrived in time. Jung Hyun-ju waved it off, saying it was only her duty, and then left the scene. Just then, the system notification sounded. Because you participated in subduing B-rank villain John, congratulations. You have gained 5,300 reward points. A minor change in the plot has been detected. Causality has increased by 0.2. Kim Sun-woo was shocked. Another new status bar? Had it appeared because he interfered with the main storyline? Causality is obtained by resolving important events in the main story. The amount of causality gained increases depending on the degree of change in the story. You may consume causality to use privileges. When causality exceeds 10, one privilege will be unlocked. When causality exceeds 20, the next privilege will be unlocked. When it exceeds 30, another privilege will be unlocked. Deus Ex Machina privilege. When causality reaches 100, you may grant one wish. It could actually grant a wish. Kim Sun-woo was stunned. Did that mean that as long as his causality was high enough, he could even return to the real world? Thinking of that, a slow smile spread across Kim Sun-woo's face. In that case, there was nothing to worry about anymore. To gain more causality, he had to protect Lee So-jun properly. Nice. From now on, he was going to actively interfere with this world. Before long, Kim Sun-woo received the demon-slaying reward of 15 million won. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo took that huge sum of money and headed to Hansun Grand Hotel. After all, he had worked hard today and nearly died. What was wrong with enjoying himself a little? Hansun Hotel was a 5-star hotel under Hansun Group, open only to mages. Hansun Group was a corporate group with power, authority, and wealth, and it played a very important role in the original story. This man was Han Se-jong, vice chairman of Hansun Group. He had originally been the first in line to inherit Hansun Group. But the moment he heard Se-yeon's name, Han Se-jong immediately said, Se-yeon, I'll go see her in a bit. Before long, Kim Sun-woo arrived at his room. Looking at all the items he had gained today, Kim Sun-woo nodded in satisfaction. Still, this spear was far too eye-catching. He should find a chance to sell it. As for this magic book, it seemed to become useful in the middle and later parts of the novel. And these herbs could be given to Han Se-yeon, though that would have to wait until tomorrow. Time quickly moved to the next day. The morning news was on. We now bring you a report. A mage is drawing major attention after conquering a hidden floor of the trial tower. This mage was originally only C rank, yet after conquering the hidden floor, he also subdued a rampaging demon at Han River Park. The Mage Association has highly praised the heroic actions of Mage Kim Sun-woo and announced that they are currently considering raising his rank. The people watching the news were stunned. He had done that much in a single day? He must have fought that demon alone for a long time. Meanwhile, Kim Sun-woo was absolutely loving it. He hadn't expected one news broadcast to earn him 21,000 reward points. In that case, it was time to go meet Han Se-yeon. Before long, Kim Sun-woo arrived at the entrance of Hansung Pharmaceuticals. Isn't that the guy from TV? I didn't expect him to be kind of handsome. Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo felt a small burst of satisfaction. Being famous felt surprisingly nice. After entering the building, Kim Sun-woo's gaze was quickly drawn to an old man nearby. He was Jang Sugi, an S-rank mage known as the Sword of the Hansung family. Kim Sun-woo thought to himself, as expected of Hansung Group. He had just walked in and already run into an S-rank mage. Just then, the receptionist's voice pulled him back to reality. Kim Sun-woo immediately stepped forward and explained his identity and purpose. Soon, he was led into an office. Han Se-yeon looked at the item he brought, her tone carrying a hint of surprise. I didn't expect someone as talked about as you to visit me. What surprises me even more is this item you brought. I can feel the energy hidden inside it, but it doesn't even have the basic mana veins a medicinal herb should have, so handling it will be extremely tricky. Still, I'm curious, how did you figure out its effects? Kim Sun-woo humbly said that he occasionally studied medicine. Of course, that was a complete lie. In reality, the outsider system had told him everything. Divine Herb was an extremely special medicinal plant. It had no effect on its own, but it could greatly enhance the effects of other herbs. At present, no institution could properly process it. Even if someone could, the process would be extremely complicated. That was why Kim Sun-woo had come here. When it came to herbs, the right answer was to hand them to Han Se-yeon, the genius pharmacist from the novel. Han Se-yeon quickly got to the point. So the important thing is this herb, right? Then let's talk about your terms. Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo silently raised 5 fingers. Pay me 500 million won upfront, and give me 0.005% of Hansung Pharmaceuticals shares. Han Se-yeon's expression instantly turned colder. I don't think you understand the scale of our group. Kim Sun-woo wasn't surprised at all. He simply said calmly, think it over carefully. If Divine Herb is commercialized, it could monopolize the pharmaceutical industry. For you, isn't that basically guaranteed profit? Han Se-yeon understood that perfectly well, but she still said, shares are impossible. Ask for something else. Kim Sun-woo had expected that. After all, he hadn't really come here just for shares. Then I want a VIP membership for the underground arena. Also, I need you to make some specific potions for me. Of course, I can pay the appropriate price for them. Han Se-yeon laughed after hearing that. So your demand is that you want me to run errands for you? Kim Sun-woo said calmly. However, if you agree, I can tell you your brother Han Se-jeong's weakness. Han Se-yeon's expression changed instantly. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo smiled in satisfaction. I know you want to take control of Hansung Group, even if it means destroying your family's current position. Meanwhile, the news was still reporting on Mage Kim Sun-woo's heroic deeds. After watching the broadcast, Big Gang's face turned ice cold. John is dead. We could have prevented this. The next moment, Big Gang's eyes filled with rage. We absolutely could have stopped this. Seeing that, the person beside him told Big Gang to calm down first. That was an order from him. Helping demons run wild among humans will only put us in even greater danger. Hearing that, Big Gang only grew angrier. I'm sick of hiding all the time. I'm going to kill that bastard, Kim Sun-woo. The other person said calmly, in that case, I don't think you'll need to do it yourself. I heard he's getting close to one of your clients. Big Gang immediately turned his head in shock. Looks like that kid's life really was about to end. He had no idea what kind of bastard that client was. That man could even kill his own family with a smile on his face. Meanwhile, seeing Han Se-jeong arrive, Han Se-yeon greeted him happily. It's been so long, Se-jeong. It feels really nice to see you again after all this time. Inside the car, Han Se-jeong asked Han Se-yeon how work at the company had been lately. Han Se-yeon gave a soft sigh. Work has been really exhausting. Dealing with people is tiring too. Seeing how drained she looked, Han Se-jeong frowned. You're still so young, yet father already handed the company over to you. It does seem a bit too rushed. If it's too hard for you, you can always hand it all over to me. Once I become chairman, I'll make you vice chairwoman. Han Se-jeong didn't notice that Han Se-yeon's expression had already changed. He just kept talking endlessly about how many benefits there would be once he became chairman. Back with Kim Sun-woo. After meeting Han Se-yeon, Kim Sun-woo found time to sell off that spear and got 2 certificates sorted out as well. In the blink of an eye, he had gone from a poor student to someone living comfortably. Meeting Han Se-yeon had definitely been the right choice. She probably had powerful intelligence resources too. Right now, she was most likely verifying whether the weakness he had mentioned was actually useful. Suddenly, a phone ringtone interrupted Kim Sun-woo's thoughts. Looking at the message on his phone, Kim Sun-woo was surprised. He hadn't expected Han Se-yeon to verify the information that quickly. Just then, the system displayed a notification. You have gained Han Se-yeon's trust. You have received 1,000 reward points. Kim Sun-woo was instantly delighted. He hadn't expected her to agree to work with him so quickly. He immediately sent a message asking her to prepare potions for him first, as well as an entry ticket to the underground arena. Han Se-yeon replied that potion making would take quite some time, and she would contact him again once they were ready. After putting down his phone, Kim Sun-woo opened his status panel again. Cooperating with Han Se-yeon would definitely trigger a certain plot node from the novel. Before that happened, he needed to find more ways to protect himself. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo found a trait in the shop: killing intent detection. Its effect allowed him to sense any killing intent directed at him within 500 meters. But when he saw that it cost 50,000 reward points, he instantly went quiet. After thinking for 0.25 seconds, Kim Sun-woo still clicked purchase with trembling hands. A few days later, Han Se-yeon came to Kim Sun-woo with the completed potion. She warned him, "I added divine herb while making it, so the side effects are pretty strong too." After receiving the potion, Kim Sun-woo immediately understood its effect. For 5 minutes, it would increase mana recovery speed by 500%. The side effect was that once it wore off, he would enter a state of mana depletion. Han Se-yeon, meanwhile, was looking Kim Sun-woo over with confusion. The man in front of her was clearly a very capable mage, yet he needed a potion like this. That was suspicious enough. More importantly, he also knew about her family's affairs. With that thought in mind, Han Se-yeon looked at Kim Sun-woo again. "I investigated the matter you mentioned to my own channels. I always knew he had a side no one else saw, but the results still surprised me. Not only has he killed people, but there are also signs that he may have come into contact with a suspected demon. How exactly did you find out about this?" Of course, it was because all of this had been written in the novel. But Kim Sun-woo couldn't tell her that. In the original story, Han Se-yeon became a villain precisely because his greed led him to cooperate with demons. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo said calmly, "Give me 5% of Hansun Pharmaceuticals shares, and I'll tell you." Han Se-yeon clicked her tongue in displeasure. "You might as well just say you don't want to tell me." After a moment of silence, Kim Sun-woo asked, "Did you prepare the VIP pass for the underground auction?" Han Se-yeon said she had already prepared it. "But apparently, the ticket can't be transferred, so you can only enter with me." Kim Sun-woo nodded in understanding. "So that's why you dressed like that today?" Han Se-yeon looked at him coldly. "Who do you think I dressed like this for?" Still, she couldn't help asking, "I'm curious though, what exactly are you planning to do there?" Kim Sun-woo looked at her like she had asked something obvious. "I made money, so of course I'm going there to spend it." Han Se-yeon fell silent. This guy had just made 500 million won from her, and now he was planning to blow it at the underground arena? She immediately stood up in displeasure. "Our deal ends this month." The next moment, Kim Sun-woo's system displayed a notification. "Character Han Se-yeon is deeply disappointed in you. Her interest in you has dropped significantly." Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected Han Se-yeon to be that disappointed, but it didn't really matter. With that thought, he pulled out a mask. As long as he walked out of that place alive, one way or another, he would earn even more of Han Se-yeon's trust. Soon, the two arrived at the underground arena. After confirming there were no issues with their identities, the staff placed VIP wristbands on both of them. "We hope you both enjoy your time as our VIP guests." At that moment, a middle-aged man approached from a distance. Kim Sun-woo's heart skipped a beat as he saw the man. He hadn't expected to encounter him so soon. In the novel, the S-rank demon and top-tier villain, Ha-young, is also the owner of this underground auction arena. Seeing him approach, Kim Sun-woo felt his tension rise. But Ha-young merely said, "Enjoy your time here," and walked off into the distance. Once he was truly gone, Kim Sun-woo's anxious heart finally calmed. For his own safety, he had to make sure not to get mixed up with Ha-young. Soon, the two entered the underground arena. By now, the arena was already surrounded by a cheering crowd. Han Se-yeon followed Kim Se-woo, looking completely out of her element. "There are way more people than I expected, and the atmosphere is really tense," Kim Sun-woo said calmly. "This is all because of Yan Hongju. He's the most popular fighter, having won the championship 3 years in a row. In terms of pure combat ability, he completely dominates at the A-rank level. You can't make much money betting on him, right?" Han Se-yeon asked, puzzled, since everyone was focused on him. Kim Sun-woo nodded. You're right, but if you want to make money, you have to play this way. Han Se-yeon grew even more curious, urgently asking what Kim Sun-woo planned to do. But Kim Sun-woo didn't answer, and instead approached a staff member. I want to place a bet. 530 million. On Yang Hongju's opponent. The staff member froze. Sir, could you repeat that? Who exactly are you placing the bet on? At that moment, Han Se-yeon stepped forward anxiously. Do you know who Yang Hongju's opponent is? Kim Sun-woo smiled lightly. His opponent is just a rookie. Today is his debut. Meanwhile, in another room, a staff member reported, You mean someone just placed a 530 million bet on Yang Hongju's opponent? The staff member bowed. Yes, he's wearing a rabbit mask. Instantly, Ha Young's mind conjured the image of Kim Sun-woo. Correct. He's wearing the super VIP wristband. For someone like him, this amount of money is probably just pocket change. The whims of the rich are always so hard to understand. Meanwhile, elsewhere. You're saying Kim Sun-woo appeared in the underground arena? The informant said he participated along with Han Se-yeon. Good. We knew nothing about him before, which has been very frustrating. Prepare the car. Tonight, I'm going to get justice for John. Back in the arena, Kim Sun-woo, still watching the match, had no idea he was being observed. At this moment, the first round winner appeared. With the host's announcement, the crowd erupted in cheers, while others looked at the losers' backs and cursed in anger. Seeing the excited crowd, Han Se-yeon broke into a nervous sweat. Kim Sun-woo noticed her unease and said, The underground world is ruthless. Even so, I doubt the organizers would allow a death in the match. The real competition for us begins now. At that moment, the host walked onto the stage to announce that the match between Riang and Yang Hongju was about to start. The host continued, In this match, 28 billion is bet on the champion Yang Hongju, but a crazy high roller placed 530 million on the rookie Riang. Kim Sun-woo thought to himself, Since when did I become a high roller? Just then, someone behind them started whispering, Some idiot actually bet 530 million on the rookie. Another person immediately lowered his voice. Shut up. A rich guy like that isn't someone we can mess with. As long as we make money, that's all that matters. Kim Sun-woo merely smiled. Once they lost, they wouldn't be laughing anymore. Soon, Yang Hongju entered the arena first. The rookie, Riang, followed right after and appeared before the crowd. The moment Han Se-yeon saw Rong, she nearly blacked out. Don't tell me that guy is wrong. Why do I feel like he's a dead man walking, and he's taking your money to the grave with him? Kim Sun-woo was also a little surprised when he saw Riang. He was far thinner and weaker looking than Kim Sun-woo had imagined. But there was no need to worry. In the original novel, there was a famous villain organization called Shadowfold, and they played a major role in the main storyline. Riang was the character who would later join Shadowfold. The novel even said Riang had won every single fight in the underground arena, and had never lost once. But, in the next moment, Kim Sun-woo couldn't help growing nervous again. After all, the novel hadn't said Lee So-jun would die either, had it? In the arena, Riang stood before Yang Hongju like a rabbit facing a lion. Even so, Yang Hongju didn't lower his guard at all. Powerful energy erupted from his body in an instant, and he rushed in front of Riang in the blink of an eye. Then he launched an attack. Riang's expression changed, and he hurriedly twisted aside to dodge the lightning-fast strike. But before he could even breathe in release, Yang Hongju slammed another punch into his stomach. The tremendous force sent Riang flying, smashing him hard into the wall. He stayed there for a long time, unable to get back up. Seeing this, the crowd erupted into excited roars. A bead of sweat rolled down Kim Sun-woo's face. Was this really the undefeated war god from the novel? Meanwhile, across town, Baekgang was currently riding in a car toward the underground arena. Although he wanted to storm the place directly, if he ruined Ha Young's plan, he probably wouldn't get away with it either. Then he looked at the driver and asked when the event would end. When he heard it would not end until 10:30, a smile appeared on Baekgang's face. Since there was plenty of time, there was no need to rush. Meanwhile, back at the underground arena, the so-called war god, Riang, was still getting beaten. Yang Hongju drove punch after punch into Rang's body. Riang didn't fight back at all. If he could dodge, he dodged. If he couldn't, he took the hit with his body. Then, Yang Hongju kicked Riang hard again. Riang was sent flying by the kick. Seeing that, the arena erupted into cheers once more. The spectators looked at Yang Hongju as if they were already seeing piles of cash. Kim Sun-woo stared at the scene, growing more and more uncertain. Was this really Rang, the undefeated war god from the novel? Because right now, he looked like a total goner. And at that moment, Yang Hongju had already sunk into the thrill of victory. But in the next second, a blade suddenly pierced straight through his chest. Riang shakily rose to his feet, looked at Yang Hongju, and revealed a strange, sinister smile. Yang Hongju stared at the figure before him, his eyes filled with rage. The next instant, he charged straight at Riang. Seeing this, Riang showed no fear at all. Several blades appeared in his hand once again. Then, with a casual wave, countless blades shot toward Yang Hongju in an instant. The blades pierced Yang Hongju's body in the blink of an eye, taking his life completely. Even at that moment, Yang Hongju's face was still filled with unwillingness and disbelief. With a thud, he collapsed to the ground, completely lifeless. The entire arena fell so silent you could hear a pin drop. It was a sharp contrast to the roaring cheers from just moments ago. Everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Bro, can you slap me? I need to know if I'm dreaming. Yang Hongju didn't lose, right? With one crisp slap, every spectator in the arena began wailing in despair. Han Se-yeon stared down at the arena, utterly shocked. She hadn't expected Yang Hongju to actually lose. Just then, Kim Sun-woo's voice snapped Han Se-yeon back to her senses. Seeing that Kim Sun-woo was already leaving, Han Se-yeon hurried after him. From a distance, Ha-young watched the two of them walk away, suspicion filling his heart. At first, he had thought this was just some spoiled rich kid throwing money around for fun. But based on the result, it was far too coincidental. Rian had won only because Yang Hongju let his guard down at the final moment. Ha-young's instincts, sharpened over many years, told him that there had to be some hidden intention behind this bet. With that thought, he turned his gaze to team leader Jung beside him. Find out exactly who that winner is. Meanwhile, on the ride back, after finally coming back to herself, Han Se-yeon was both shocked and confused. Just who are you? Why were you so sure Rian would win? Kim Sun-woo responded with a mysterious smile, under Han Se-yeon's expectant gaze. He slowly said, "My instincts." Han Se-yeon immediately looked helpless. "So you're not planning to tell me anything?" After saying that, she turned her face away in annoyance. Right then, system notifications appeared one after another. Character Han Se-yeon trusts you again. Character Han Se-yeon is deeply curious about you. Character Han Se-yeon's interest in you has increased. Character Han Se-yeon's interest level is now level 1. Achievement completed. Gambler of the Century. Kim Sun-woo simply smiled faintly. Today had been a huge harvest. Not only had he earned 3 billion, but he had also gained a new achievement. He had spent 50,000 points on killing intent detection just yesterday, and today he had already earned back 7,000 points. At this rate, he would eventually recover all the points he spent on that trait. Just then, Kim Seon-woo's expression suddenly tightened. Killing intent detection had captured a sudden burst of killing intent. He immediately began thinking about where that killing intent was coming from. In the original story, killing John would trigger a side quest. That side quest was called Demon's Mercenary, and it involved a demon mercenary coming to avenge John. He hadn't expected the other party to come after him this quickly. With that thought, Kim Seon-woo turned his gaze to Han Se-yeon beside him. Before long, Han Se-yeon stopped the car near a park. After Kim Seon-woo got out, she drove away. Not far away, the driver who saw the two split up asked Baek Gang in a low voice, "What should we do?" Baek Gang revealed a cold, sinister smile. Back with Kim Seon-woo, Baek Gang followed closely behind and arrived there as well. But the figure before him filled his heart with doubt. The energy coming from this person was extremely weak, and his body didn't look like it had been trained much either. Could someone like this really have killed John? Just then, Kim Sun-woo took out a potion and drank it down. Powerful energy slowly began rising from within his body. Baek Gang was startled. For some reason, the man's energy had suddenly grown stronger, but even then, it was still nowhere near enough to threaten John's life. By now, Kim Sun-woo had finished the entire bottle of potion. He hadn't expected it to be sweet. Honestly, it almost made him want a second round. Then, he raised his head and said, "Are you still not coming out?" Since he had already been discovered, Baek Gang slowly stepped out. "Looks like you're ready." After saying that, Baek Gang raised his hand and summoned several spears. The next moment, he commanded the spears to attack Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo hurriedly released magic to counterattack. Ice and fire mana instantly tangled together. With a loud boom, dazzling flames erupted. Looking at the explosion in the distance, Han Se-yeon was filled with worry. It looked like the fight had begun. A few minutes earlier, Han Se-yeon had asked Kim Sun-woo in confusion, "What's wrong?" While organizing his items, Kim Sun-woo told her, we're being followed. Han Se-yeon was shocked. Who was following them? Could it be one of the group's business rivals? As if seeing through her confusion, Kim Sun-woo said calmly, "He's here for me. His mana is far beyond B rank. In a bit, just pull over and drop me off somewhere." Han Se-yeon stared at Kim Sun-woo in confusion. "You might be strong, but can you really handle him?" Kim Sun-woo simply answered with a confident smile. Before long, Han Se-yeon stopped the car at the entrance of the park. She looked at Kim Sun-woo with mixed emotions, and in the end, she only said, "You have to hold on." Then, she drove away. Meanwhile, back with Kim Sun-woo. After dodging Baekgang's attack, Kim Sun-woo flashed a confident smile. If the rest of Baekgang's attacks were only at this level, then this would be a piece of cake. Baekgang said coldly, "Looks like the only thing you can do is dodge, but dodging alone won't keep you alive against me." After saying that, Baekgang raised his hand and summoned several more spears. The next moment, the spears tore through the air and shot toward Kim Sun-woo. This spell was far faster than the previous one. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo's earlier calm vanished completely. He barely managed to dodge the attack by rolling and scrambling away. Kim Sun-woo's heart was still pounding. If he had been even a little slower just now, he would have been dead. The potion's effect was about to run out too. It was time to settle this for good. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo activated Heart of Nature. Its effect increased his mana recovery speed by 1000% for 1 minute. Seeing his attack miss again, Baekgang clicked his tongue in irritation. "You damn brat." But in the next second, his eyes filled with shock. Kim Sun-woo was now wrapped in an energy even stronger than before. Baekgang was both startled and confused. But before he could figure out what was happening, Kim Sun-woo charged straight toward him. Seeing that figure rushing in, a powerful sense of danger instantly gripped Baekgang. He stopped holding back and released magic even stronger than before, attacking Kim Sun-woo with the intent to crush the danger before it could grow. But Kim Sun-woo slipped through that dense barrage of magic with ease. Baekgang was stunned. What kind of movement was that? How was it this ridiculous? The next moment, he grabbed one of the spears formed by his magic. If long-range attacks wouldn't work, he would beat him in close combat. At the same time, magic was also gathering in Kim Sun-woo's hand. In the next second, Baekgang's leg was struck hard by powerful mana. The intense pain made him roar. Right then, Kim Sun-woo condensed several more spells in his hand. The next moment, every spell slammed into Baekgang's body one after another. Baekgang hurriedly raised his arms to protect his head. The calm confidence from earlier was gone, replaced only by uncontrollable rage. But as time passed, Kim Sun-woo grew more and more anxious. If he couldn't hit Baekgang's head, he had no way to kill him. And if he couldn't kill Baekgang, once time ran out, he would be the one to die. In the next instant, an idea flashed through Kim Sun-woo's mind. He instantly rushed right in front of Baekgang. Baekgang had no time to react before Kim Sun-woo's mana-covered hand clamped tightly around his throat. As Kim Sun-woo's grip grew stronger, Baekgang's breathing became more and more difficult. But suddenly, the mana around Kim Sun-woo's hand disappeared. Damn it. At that exact moment, the system displayed a notification. Heart of Nature effect has ended. Kim Sun-woo quickly backed away, cursing that damn system 10,000 times in his head. Feeling the mana around Kim Sun-woo fade, Baekgang smiled again. For a second there, I thought I was going to die. Then he summoned another spear and gripped it tightly. Since I'm not the one dying, it has to be you. After saying that, Baekgang prepared to attack Kim Sun-woo. But just then, a flash of sword light suddenly appeared. Sorry, but the one dying can only be you. Seeing reinforcements arrive, Kim Sun-woo finally let out the breath he had been holding. Jang Sugi, you finally made it. Sword Demon Jang Sugi was also one of the strongest characters in the original novel. With a single strike, he killed Baekgang, who was comparable to an A rank in the original story. Just then, Han Se-yeon also arrived at the scene. After confirming that Kim Sun-woo was unharmed, she finally let out a breath of relief. You don't look injured. Thank goodness. At that moment, Kim Sun-woo's system displayed a notification. B-rank villain Baekgang has died. An extremely minor change in the story has been detected. Causality has increased by 0.6. Jang Sugi also stepped forward and asked Han Se-yeon whether they needed to report this matter to the chairman. After all, the young lady of Hansen Group being attacked by a demon was no small matter. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo advised against it. If the outside world found out that someone from Hansen Group had been attacked by a demon, it would definitely cause a huge uproar. Han Se-yeon fell into thought after hearing that. Then she turned to Jang Sugi beside her. Let's handle this privately, she said. Jang Sugi nodded. Understood, miss. 3 days passed quickly. Han Se-yeon had always believed that Baek-gang had come after her. As compensation for defeating Baek-gang, she offered to help Kim Sun-woo obtain any information he needed. At the time, Kim Sun-woo had only asked her to heavily promote the secret medicine developed by Hansung Pharmaceuticals, because he had already poured everything he owned into buying Hansung Pharmaceuticals stock. All for this exact moment. The time was 8:59. Only 1 minute remained. The next moment, the numbers on his phone began skyrocketing. Kim Sun-woo screamed in excitement, like a monkey. In his previous life, he had worked himself to the bone his entire life and still couldn't afford a house. Yet in this life, the moment he stopped following the script, making money became this easy. In an instant, a strange emptiness filled Kim Sun-woo's entire body. Then what had all that effort in his previous life been for? Just to suffer? Just then, Han Se-yeon sent him a message. Are you free for a casual meal tomorrow? I have a gift for you. Seeing the message, a huge question mark appeared in Kim Sun-woo's mind. Wait, was this what light novels called a date? The next day, Kim Sun-woo soon arrived at the meeting place. Seeing that Han Se-yeon was already seated inside, he was a little surprised. I didn't expect you to arrive this early. Han Se-yeon said calmly. It's just a habit. Since I was the one who invited you, I can't exactly make you wait. After Kim Sun-woo sat down, he brought up Hansung Pharmaceuticals shares. They went up a lot. I made quite a bit. Han Se-yeon curiously asked how much he had made. When she heard that Kim Sun-woo had earned 5 billion in a single day, she fell silent. Seeing that her expression didn't look too good, Kim Sun-woo immediately changed the subject and asked what gift she had mentioned. Han Se-yeon took out a stack of documents. After investigating in secret, I found out the identity of the demon who attacked us last time. His name was Baek-gang. Before his identity as a demon was exposed, he was a notorious assassin. There were even rumors that he had more than a dozen refrigerators at home, all packed full of hands. And through this investigation, I also discovered that someone had frequent dealings with Baek-gang. That person is my brother, Han Se-jong. Kim Sun-woo was shocked when he heard that. Of course, he wasn't shocked that Han Se-jong had dealings with a demon. He was shocked that Baek-gang, the assassin, had been that much of a psychopath. Then, he asked Han Se-yeon, is that all you meant by a gift? Han Se-yeon shook her head. Those were just extra. This is the real gift. It's also my way of showing that I look forward to continuing our cooperation. When Kim Sun-woo saw the gift, he was stunned. Why did this development feel exactly like something out of a light novel? After surviving a near-death experience together, he got invited on a date and received a gift. Was he supposed to unlock a special CG next? But just then, Han Se-yeon said, I asked to meet you today because I think it would be best if we kept some distance for a while. Now that we've confirmed my brother Han Se-jong had ties to Baek-gang, it's already pretty clear who was behind that attack, isn't it? After saying that, Han Se-yeon got up and left. Seeing this, Kim Sun-woo let out a soft sigh. That was not how light novels were supposed to go. He hadn't even gotten to show off any special couple event yet. Besides, Han Se-jong hadn't actually ordered the demon attack. Still, he was definitely a villain, and that was exactly why Kim Sun-woo didn't explain the truth to Han Se-yeon. After all, using Han Se-yeon to catch Han Se-jong sounded like a pretty good idea, didn't it? Just then, Han Se-yeon's voice rang out again. Oh, right, Mr. Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo, who had just been thinking about how to use her, nearly jumped. I hope you like this gift. I picked it out myself. Kim Sun-woo thanked her quietly. The next moment, the system displayed the item description. B-rank mana alloy bracelet. An extremely sturdy bracelet infused with mana. Durability, SS rank. Seeing such a valuable item, Kim Sun-woo was instantly delighted. It was a little disappointing that he didn't get to see a special CG. But in the next second, he froze again. System notification. Congratulations. You have gained 1,500 reward points. Meanwhile, in Ha-yeon's office, he looked at the information his subordinate had just delivered. His expression extremely grave. At that moment, the man who had once followed Baek-gang also arrived. It's been almost 10 years, hasn't it, Chun-hae? Could this matter be related to the demon-eating society? Chun-hae answered, there are indeed some connections. But before that, there is something I'm not sure I should say. I assume you already know about my close friends, John and Baek-gang, being killed. Coincidentally, there is one person connected to both incidents, and according to Baek-gang's investigation before his death, that person came to this arena not long ago. So I would like to ask, Lord Ha-yeon, had you ever heard the name Kim Sun-woo? Ha-yeon was immediately shocked. because the VIP file he was holding at that very moment also had the name Kim Sun-woo written on it. Chun-Hei continued, "Please tell me anything you know about him. I will spill his blood over my friends' graves." But as soon as he finished speaking, Chun-Hei froze. Powerful mana had begun surging around Ha-Yun at some point. Ha-Yun stared coldly at Chun-Hei. "If you dare lay a hand on my customer, then before you do, you'd better be prepared to endure my wrath." The overwhelming pressure nearly crushed the breath out of Chun-Hei. He quickly said he would not touch Kim Sun-woo. Only then did the mana around Ha-Yun slowly fade. "Now tell me, what message did you come to deliver?" Chun-Hei finally let out a breath of relief and said, "The sacred prophet altar has delivered a prophecy. The child destined to destroy demons will awaken at 18. The demon king of power will die by that child's hand." Hearing this, Ha-Yun felt displeased. That damn demon king was trying to stir up trouble again. Then he looked back at Chun-Hei and asked if there was any other information. Chun-Hei answered, "According to the prophet altar, the prophesied child who turns 18 this year is at the Magic Military Academy." Meanwhile, back with Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo was feeling a little heavy-hearted. He hadn't expected to attract Ha-Yun's curiosity. Although he had gained another 1,500 reward points, this was not the right time to get involved with Ha-Yun. He needed to stop acting under his alternate identity for now. The most important thing at the moment was preparing for the upcoming midterm exam. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo opened the magic scroll in his hand. It was a shield-type scroll. Its effect created a barrier that could block one magical attack, and its cooldown was 12 hours. The midterm exam was the moment when students proved their abilities in front of numerous examiners and officials. In the original story, this exam affected Lee So-jun's future career development. But there was another reason this exam was especially important. The prophesied child. In the novel, she would become Lee So-jun's future companion and was born carrying the power to destroy demons. To find the prophesied child before her power awakened, the Demon Kings would invade the school at 4 in the afternoon. In the original plot, however, Lee So-jun subdued all of them. This part of the story was not large in scale, but it was an important turning point. And this time, Kim Sun-woo had to pay attention not only to Lee So-jun, but also to that prophesied child. Just then, the teacher spoke. "To help you prepare properly for next week's midterm exam, I have one more announcement." The students below immediately groaned. "No way, not again. Teacher, you've already said that line 10 times. The teacher said calmly, "I know you're all in a rush, but hold your horses. You need to understand that everything I do is for your own good. Remember this well. Train like you fight, and fight like you train. To help you prepare for the midterm exam, we will be holding several days of self-directed sparring sessions." The students below were instantly shocked. Then Teacher Jang announced that anyone who couldn't find an opponent today could observe or practice on their own. As soon as he finished speaking, Yu-ara locked her sights on Lee So-jun with fierce intensity. Seeing this, Kim Sun-woo couldn't help smiling inwardly. Those two rivals were still at each other's throats, just like in the original novel. Good thing he hadn't gone to Lee So-jun first. Still, even then, not a single person was willing to partner with him and improve together. But after thinking about it, that was normal. Kim Sun-woo had shown amazing talent in theory and magic circle analysis. But that didn't change the fact that his practical combat ability was still at the bottom of the entire school. Still, that was fine because he had already decided who his partner would be. Over on the training ground, Lee So-jun was currently sparring fiercely with Yu-ara, and by fiercely, it was the kind that could actually be lethal. Lee So-jun was still shaken. If he hadn't dodged that last attack, he might have actually died on the spot. Yu-ara said coldly, "Lee So-jun, is that all you've got? If so, then from now on, first place in this school belongs to me." Lee So-jun refused to back down. "Don't get too full of yourself, Yu-ara." After saying that, his gaze sharpened. "My warm-up is only just beginning." The next moment, Lee So-jun unleashed a powerful sword aura. Their intense sparring quickly drew a huge crowd. After all, it wasn't every day that people got to watch the school's number 1 and number 2 fight each other. After watching for a while, Yoon Ha-um silently sighed. Compared to those geniuses, her own mana felt pitiful. What about Yoon Ha-um as a sparring partner? She's ranked 82nd in the school. Forget it, she's only good at theory. Her practical skills are terrible. I kind of feel bad for her. It's like her talent can't keep up with her brain. She seems like a nice person though. Hearing those words, Yoon Ha-um's heart burned with frustration. She had to prove herself. The next moment, she gathered all her mana and attacked the training dummy in front of her. But even after taking every bit of her attack, the dummy remained completely unharmed. Seeing that, Yoon-ha sank back into discouragement. Why did it feel like, no matter how hard she tried, nothing changed? And Kim Sun-woo saw all of it. Kim Sun-woo said bluntly, "Your ice element form is terrible. It isn't even cold enough. Your accuracy is awful too. That means your entire foundation is a mess. But if you train with me, I guarantee I can at least help you become useful." The reason Kim Sun-woo had come here to say all this was simply to take responsibility for his previous interference. In the original story, Yoon-ha should have already become the 6th-ranked student in the year by this point. That was all thanks to the advice Lee Sojun had given her during the last dungeon exploration. But because of Kim Sun-woo's interference, she had missed that growth opportunity. Hearing his words, anger immediately appeared on Yoon-ha face. Because you lack ability yourself, you're trying to tear down other people's confidence so they'll listen to you? Kim Sun-woo waved it off casually. "I understand why you're angry. It's because you can't find a way to refute me, right?" Yoon-ha expression instantly darkened. "During the dungeon exploration, I thought you were a decent person. Looks like I was wrong." The next moment, she stopped hiding her aura and stared sharply at Kim Sun-woo. "Let's fight. I hope you can show me the incredible skills of the school's lowest-ranked student." Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo was instantly delighted. But in the next second, he was shocked. Yoon-ha attack whistled past so close that it grazed the hairs on his face. Kids these days have no honor. She actually pulled a sneak attack. Yoon-ha asked coldly, "Can we start now?" After saying that, she continued attacking Kim Sun-woo. Seeing this, Kim Sun-woo instantly gathered mana in his legs and nimbly dodged Yoon-ha attacks. The attacks looked dense, but they were actually very easy to avoid, and their power was completely underwhelming. Then, Kim Sun-woo looked back at Yoon-ha. "Your attack pattern is too simple. As an ice attribute user, shouldn't you shine in terms of utility?" Hearing that, Yoon-ha trembled with anger. "If you want to see different attack patterns, then I'll show you." The next moment, an ice spear appeared in Yoon-ha hand. "Can you handle this?" Seeing it, Kim Sun-woo was immediately shocked. He hadn't expected her to use this move so early. In an instant, the ice spear shot toward him. Kim Sun-woo quickly jumped into the air to dodge. The moment the ice spear struck the ground, it bloomed into a massive ice flower. Yoon-ha finally snapped back to herself and stared at her own hands in shock. Had that huge ice flower really been magic she released? No matter how hard she had tried before, she had never been able to do it. But this time, somehow, she had succeeded. Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo smiled faintly. Looks like provocation really did work. But to Yoon-ha, that smile looked like blatant mockery, and it made her furious. The next moment, she gathered magic in her hand again and charged toward Kim Sun-woo. Seeing this, Kim Sun-woo poured a large amount of mana into his legs. In an instant, he rushed right in front of Yoon-ha. You inexperienced manifestation-type mages all have one thing in common. Once someone gets close, you easily lose your rhythm. As he spoke, Kim Sun-woo pushed the magic in his hand toward Yoon-ha. Yoon-ha was startled, feeling the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. But in the next moment, Kim Sun-woo dispersed the magic in his hand. "You fought pretty well just now." Yoon-ha instantly deflated. "I can't believe I really lost to you. Maybe I really do need to learn magic from you." Seeing this, Kim Sun-woo reached out his hand to her. "You just don't know how to bring out your talent. Work with me, and I'll help you." Yoon-ha stared at Kim Sun-woo, her eyes filled with shock. The next moment, she placed her hand in his. "I'll trust you this once, so you'd better teach me properly." At that moment, the system displayed a message. Yoon-ha favorability toward you has increased. Yoon-ha interest level has risen to level 1. From now on, what you need to do is attribute adaptation training. All magic begins with adapting to an element. Adaptation means understanding that attribute, and that determines your ability to cast that magic. In other words, no matter how much you practice the basics, if you don't understand the attribute, your skills will never truly improve. Yoon-ha frowned. "Of course I know what attribute adaptation training is," Kim Sun-woo said calmly. "The fastest and easiest way is to feel it directly with your body. Work hard, and don't waste your teacher's good intentions." Yoon-ha looked deeply displeased. "But I've never heard of attribute adaptation training being done like this." Meanwhile, in a hidden location, "Are they all here?" "Yes, Boss Chung-hae. As you instructed, we gathered the demons operating around the Magic Academy." "Good." Chung-hae nodded in satisfaction and stated that the infiltration operation to find the prophesied child had been scheduled for next week. Our informant inside the academy says security will be relaxed during the midterm exam. The demons were overjoyed. The time had finally come. But one of them soon asked, Boss Chen-hei, what happened with the plan to ask Lord Ha-young for help? Chen-hei said calmly, he said he has something more important to deal with, so he can't help us. The female demon was shocked. Without Lord Ha-young's help, just a few B-rank demons like us won't be able to kill the prophesied child. The white-haired demon beside her looked disdainful. It's just some kid. What's so hard about that? The female demon sighed helplessly. Relaxed security doesn't mean everything will be easy. That day, scouts from every guild will be flooding into the school. Some of them will be A-rank or even S-rank national officers. Can you handle all of that? The white-haired demon immediately fell silent. He thought to himself that he couldn't even beat an A-rank, so this woman was seriously overestimating him. Just then, Chen-hei walked over and signaled for everyone not to worry. Even without Ha-young's help, we can still succeed. The next moment, magic appeared in his hand. In an instant, it formed a massive barrier. Seeing this, the demons were delighted. With this demon barrier trapping those people inside, this operation was basically secured. Chen-hei said coldly, exactly. When the time comes, you can cause as much chaos as you want. I will fight alongside you and kill the prophesied child at any cost. Meanwhile, Kim Sun-woo continued his instructions. First comes form, then attribute. You need to memorize that feeling with your entire body. Even without ice present, you have to imagine the shape of ice in your mind. The next moment, an ice flower appeared in Yoon Ha-eum's hand. In an instant, the ice flower transformed into a spear. Yoon Ha-eum was overjoyed. Teacher, I did it. I actually created an ice spear with my own power. Kim Sun-woo smiled as he watched from the side. He hadn't expected her to improve this much after only a few days of training. Teacher Kim Sun-woo, from now on I'll do whatever you say. What was with that sudden lapdog tone? Kim Sun-woo quickly changed the subject and asked if she could still handle being in there. Yoon Ha-eum said seriously, please add more ice. Although he knew she was acting tough, Kim Sun-woo still said, hang in there a little longer, Yoon Ha-eum. This is all for your growth. When she became Lee Seojin's partner and made it big in the future, she had better not forget him. But neither of them knew that everything happening right now was being watched by someone hidden in the shadows. What exactly are they doing? In an instant, an image of an honor student being bullied by the school's lowest-ranked student appeared in Se-yeon's mind. She had to report this to a teacher immediately. Just then, Teacher Lee walked over. Se-yeon quickly said, Teacher Lee Hee-young, look, that lowest-ranked student is bullying someone. Teacher Lee said calmly, they're only doing adaptation training. Se-yeon could hardly believe it. Training? She looks like she's in that much pain, and you're calling that training? Teacher Lee nodded. I've been watching them since the first day. I didn't expect Yoon Ha-eum's mana control to improve this much in such a short time. But what's truly surprising is the student who instantly understood what his friend's problem was. Se-yeon froze. You mean that lowest-ranked student, Senior Kim Sun-woo? Teacher Lee glanced at her. You already know him? I thought you only remembered the names of honor students. Se-yeon hurriedly explained that she wasn't close to him. Teacher Lee said, student Kim Sun-woo has great potential. Knowing him early is a wise move. Se-yeon still didn't seem convinced. Seeing that, Teacher Lee said calmly, even so, he is still the worst student in the school right now. Then how about making a bet with your teacher? Se-yeon looked at Lee Hee-young in confusion, not understanding what she meant. Let's look forward to the midterm exam. A day passed quickly. At that moment, Kim Sun-woo was staring at his status window, sweating heavily. Why did this kind of treasure have to show up exactly when he was short on points? The spatial pocket was an extremely precious item. With it, he could summon stored items anywhere. It would be useful no matter where he was. Having an item like this appear in the discount shop was a huge blessing. But why did this damn system have to put it on sale when he had no points? Kim Sun-woo forced himself to calm down. Was there any way to earn 11,500 points within 5 days? Just then, his phone rang and interrupted his thoughts. Student Kim Sun-woo, please come to the faculty office before class. Before long, Kim Sun-woo arrived at Teacher Lee's office. Yu Ara and Park In-won had also been called there. Teacher Lee said, first, congratulations to the three of you. You have been selected for the second-year special class. Kim Sun-woo was immediately shocked. The so-called special class was an advanced course designed specifically for high-potential students. Most importantly, Lee So-jun was also in the special class. If he got closer to him, wouldn't the points come rolling in? But just then, Park In-hwan stepped forward, and objected to Kim Sun-woo entering the special class. I'm ranked 5th in the year, but you're putting me together with the worst student in the whole school? You, Ara, say something too. Are you really okay with being in the same class as this trash? Hearing that, Yu Ara only sighed softly. She said calmly, whoever joins the special class has nothing to do with me. This woman was seriously annoying. No wonder she didn't have friends. Just then, Teacher Lee turned to Kim Sun-woo and asked for his opinion. Kim Sun-woo said, if he thinks this is a ranking problem, then I'll just raise my ranking. Teacher Lee nodded after hearing that. In that case, prove your ability before entering the special class. If you can rank within the top 80 in the midterm exam, I'll guarantee your entry into the special class. The day of the midterm exam soon arrived. The second-year midterm exam was a cooperative combat test. Students had to team up with a partner to fight against the target. The summoned goblin brute could be defeated instantly if its internal weak point was struck. But that weak point was not easy to hit. So for most students, simply surviving its attacks would already be enough to earn a good score. Of course, geniuses like Lee Sojun and Yu Ara were exceptions. In front of them, the goblin brute was defeated as easily as an ordinary mob. So this was genius Lee Sojun. He was seriously cool. At that moment, Kim Sun-woo and Yoon Ha-um also arrived on the field. Kim Sun-woo said quietly, if everything goes according to plan, we can do this too. Yoon Ha-um nodded firmly. I'll follow everything you say. Good, that's the spirit. Now they could charge toward the top rankings. In an instant, mana surrounded Yoon Ha-um, and Kim Sun-woo charged toward the goblin brute. Ice magic manifested around Yoon Ha-um. In the blink of an eye, a massive ice wall formed in front of Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo gathered mana in his legs. The next moment, he stepped onto the ice and rushed across it as if he were on flat ground. The students in the viewing stands laughed when they saw him. If I remember correctly, isn't he the guy who couldn't even finish casting a single spell during the public test? Just then, Kim Sun-woo received a system notification. You have attracted the attention of 254 people. You have gained 1,000 reward points. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo activated his outsider privilege. The weak point of the goblin brute instantly appeared before his eyes. Magic gathered in Kim Sun-woo's hand. A second later, his spell struck the weak point of one goblin brute with perfect accuracy. The other goblin brute flew into a rage. How dare you hurt my beloved? The next moment, it raised its massive fist and charged toward Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo didn't panic at all. Since you two love each other so much, I'll send you to the afterlife to be together. But in the next moment, he suddenly froze. Because in the viewing stands, he saw that man, Ro Chen-hye. Wasn't he the mastermind behind the attack? Why had he come here in person? At that moment, Yoon Ha-um's anxious shout rang out. But the goblin brute had already rushed right in front of Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo's expression changed. The next moment, he was sent flying by the goblin brute's punch. The goblin brute was about to chase after him. Just then, several ice arrows suddenly materialized in the air. They instantly froze the goblin brute's arm. Yoon Ha-um shouted, Kim Sun-woo, snap out of it. As she spoke, she ran forward and helped Kim Sun-woo up. But in the next instant, she froze as well. The goblin brute had already rushed right in front of them. It was about to attack. But in the next moment, magic manifested in Kim Sun-woo's hand, and powerful mana erupted instantly. In the blink of an eye, the goblin monster was blasted into ash. The entire arena fell silent, and everyone was shocked beyond words. He had destroyed the goblin brute with a single strike. It would be one thing if someone else had done it, but wasn't he the lowest ranked student in the school? That kid is seriously impressive. If I'm not mistaken, that was compression manifestation. The next moment, countless cheers erupted across the arena. No one had expected that while watching a student battle, they would see compression manifestation, a technique normally only veteran mages could use. And the girl paired with him had an astonishingly high level of ice manifestation too. Yoon Ha-um finally came back to herself and happily wrapped her arms around Kim Sun-woo's neck. Just then, the system voice rang out again. 582 people were deeply impressed by you. Congratulations, you have gained 3,000 points. Congratulations, you have unlocked the achievement B rank potential star and gained 2,000 points. Character Kim Ki-hyun has taken an interest in you. Congratulations, you have gained 1,000 points. Character Park In-hwan feels humiliated by you. Congratulations, you have gained 1,000 points. But even with all these rewards, Kim Sun-woo wasn't happy at all. His expression was extremely serious as his eyes locked onto the clock ahead. The timeline had already deviated from its original course. He hadn't expected the mastermind who was supposed to stay behind the scenes to appear on the front stage like this. Did every single thing he did affect the original plot? If that was the case, then even the result where Lee So-jin saved the academy might change. Thinking of that, Kim Sun-woo's heart skipped a beat. Yoon Ha-eum also noticed that his expression looked off and asked worriedly, "What's wrong?" Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo quickly waved his hand and said he was fine. "I'm probably just a little tired. I'll rest for a bit. You go ahead to the training field first." Yoon Ha-eum thought she must have messed something up during the exam. Kim Sun-woo quickly said, "It's not like that. Your performance today was genuinely perfect." "Really? Thank you." "Then get some proper rest. If you're too tired, you don't have to come to the training field." After Yoon Ha-eum left, Kim Sun-woo finally let out a breath of relief. Next, he needed to check just how far the plot had deviated from the original. Before long, Kim Sun-woo found Lee So-jun. At that moment, Lee So-jun was surrounded by countless scouts and students. "Student Lee So-jun, please join our Cowbay Club. I won't leave until you sign with our Heimdall." "Student Lee So-jun, please join Sigma Guild immediately. We will provide you with extremely valuable resources." Lee So-jun could only smile awkwardly and shake his head, saying that he was only 18 and not yet old enough to formally join a club. "That's fine. Just take my business card first. We'll keep waiting for you. We didn't come to recruit third-year students. We came specifically to watch the second-year exam, all for you." Just then, Kim Sun-woo spoke up and interrupted them. "Teacher Jang is looking for you. It's probably about your results." After saying that, he gave Lee So-jun a knowing smile. Lee So-jun instantly caught on. "You're right. We can't keep the teacher waiting." Seeing that, the recruiters could only sigh helplessly. "Failed again. Damn it, we were so close." Still, that student looked kind of familiar. "Whatever, let's go watch the third-year exam now." Meanwhile, Jung Hyun-ju from the Special Task Force had also arrived in the area. "Senior, just like I said, Lee So-jun's performance was pretty good, right?" Kim Yoon-jung, captain of the Special Task Force, nodded after hearing that. He was indeed decent. Worthy of being the third disciple of Chairman Kim Jung-chul, master of the strongest mage guild. But he's still very immature and severely lacking in real combat experience. "Senior, are you already considering him as a candidate for the Special Task Force?" "We're only here to evaluate graduates." "I know, but then why did you come along too?" "Don't sweat the details, Senior. I don't think I've properly told you about the Han River Demon incident yet, have I?" If Kim Sun-woo was the one who fought that demon back then he may actually have the real combat experience you mentioned. Speaking of experience, what did you think of the last student? "You mean student Kim Sen-will? His combat awareness is extremely strong." "But that doesn't make sense. The ability to instantly identify a weak point like that can only come from experience." At that point, Jung Hyun-ju suddenly froze. What was she even saying? Where would an 18-year-old kid get that kind of experience? Thinking about it carefully, it really was strange. Lee So-jun had also said before that the two of them felt similar. And how could an 18-year-old use an advanced technique like compressed mana? Kim Sen-woo, just who are you? Meanwhile, over at the training field, Lee So-jun let out a breath of relief. "Thanks. I almost got trapped by them. But why were you over there?" Kim Sun-woo said he was just wandering around. Lee So-jun sighed softly. "I really don't want to get surrounded by scouts again. Those people are terrifying." Kim Sun-woo explained. "They all went with the teachers to the reserved seating area. Their entrance is different from ours, so they probably won't run into us." Hearing that, Lee So-jun finally relaxed. "Thanks, Sun-woo." Kim Sun-woo replied calmly, "No big deal." After saying that, Kim Sun-woo turned his gaze to the side. In the original plot, the demon attack would begin during the third-year exam. That was because there were quite a few demon infiltrators among the third-year students. The problem was, Kim Si-woo had no idea exactly when the attack would begin. That was why he kept staying by Lee So-jun's side, because this was the simplest and most convenient way to protect the prophesied child. With that in mind, Kim Sun-woo asked Lee So-jun beside him, "Did anything strange happen after the exam ended?" Lee So-jun asked in confusion, "Do you mean those scouts? It's fine. That kind of thing happens to me all the time." Kim Sun-woo let out a breath of relief. It seemed this part of the plot was still on track. At that moment, the third-year sparring match officially began. Meanwhile, according to the information from their insider, the scouts had all entered the third-year exam venue. "What about the situation elsewhere?" The woman answered, "We have hidden monster summoning circles all across the school, but Kim Sam is a dangerous factor around humans, so we placed him in a remote area." Chanhae nodded. "Good work, Young-han." Young-han answered respectfully. "It is all thanks to your careful guidance. Lord Chunhei. Chunhei said calmly, "Then, let us begin. It is time to hunt the prophesied child." Over at the third-year exam venue, a one-sided battle was unfolding. The next moment, a woman's voice rang out in surrender. Then the referee announced, Park Min-hui forfeits and loses. The winner is third-year student Kim Chang-hun. The third-year exam was incredible. Senior Kim Chang-hun was practically a walking elemental textbook. Even senior Park Min-hui's movements were extremely agile. But at that moment, Kim Sun-woo's attention was not on the exam at all. Across the entire training field, there was no sign of Chunhei. That made Kim Sun-woo increasingly anxious. "Who are you looking for?" The sudden question startled Kim Sun-woo. He quickly said, "I'm just checking if any guilds want to recruit me." Lee Seo-jun nodded after hearing that. "Since this semester started, your progress has been nothing short of incredible. Everyone who saw your exam performance must have been shocked. But how exactly did you train to become this strong?" Kim Sun-woo was startled and was just about to explain. Suddenly, a massive magic circle enveloped everyone. Kim Sun-woo's heart sank. "Hold on a second. This damn thing never showed up in my past life." The arena instantly fell into chaos. What is this barrier? Is this some kind of accident? Meanwhile, in an unnoticed corner, a backpack quietly opened. The next moment, a small portal instantly formed. The students were shocked when they saw it. As the portal gradually stabilized, countless monsters began pouring out from inside. Immediately after, the academy broadcast rang out. "Monsters have invaded the school. Students and visitors, please evacuate to the safe zone immediately. I repeat, monsters have invaded the school." From a distance, Chunhei watched the scene with satisfaction. The plan had succeeded. The teachers, scouts, and mages who could provide help were all trapped inside the barrier now. Then, at this rate, the prophesied child would reveal herself very soon. But just then, Kim Yoon-jung arrived at the area. Chunhei was startled when he saw her. The special task force had arrived this quickly? Are you talking about the special task force? That's right. They said they came to watch Seo-jun's match. Thanks to their help, our pressure has been greatly reduced, so things will definitely improve. Trust us. Kim Sun-woo didn't feel relieved at all. The involvement of the special task force might be enough to turn the situation around. But the real problem was this damn barrier. Just then, Teacher Kim said, "To remove this barrier, we need at least one A-rank support mage. But there is no such person here right now. Even if we found one, removing this barrier would not be something we could do quickly." That was because the barrier magic Chunhei used was world-class. Even in the original novel, Lee Seo-jun could not defeat him easily. It seemed Kim Sun-woo had no choice but to intervene personally. Just then, a voice suddenly rang out. "I am Yang Young-eun, an A-rank support mage. Please rest assured and leave everything to me." Seeing the newcomer, Kim Sun-woo was immediately shocked. But even if he said, right now, that Yang Young-eun was a demon, it wouldn't solve anything. It would only make people suspicious of him. The next moment, Yang Young-eun began releasing magic. "I'll begin. Please assist me in removing the barrier." Teacher Kim nodded after hearing that. Immediately after, the two of them began sending mana flowing across the barrier. Seeing this, everyone around them let out a breath of relief. Thank goodness, since the teachers found a way, we'll be able to get out soon. But Kim Sun-woo shook his head. Lee Seo-jun looked at him in confusion. "What's wrong?" Kim Sun-woo said quietly, "Come with me, I'll explain." Soon, Teacher Kim gradually realized something was wrong. Because whenever the barrier on her side was undone, the other side was locked back into place as if by invisible hands. After all this time, the barrier had not been removed at all. Instead, it was being strengthened. At that moment, Chunhei in the crowd also noticed that Teacher Kim was releasing less and less mana. This teacher is sharp. Looks like he needed to draw some attention. With a slight movement of Chunhei's finger, an invisible demonic aura instantly covered several monsters. Those monsters immediately went berserk, charging straight toward Yang Young-eun. Jung Hyun-ju was startled at the sight. But just then, a spear suddenly flew in. The spear pierced straight into the goblin's body. "Are you okay?" Yang Young-eun nodded and smiled, saying she was fine. Seeing that, Kim Yoon-jung finally relaxed. They were currently trying to remove the barrier from both the inside and outside, and Kim Yoon-jung's job was to protect them during that time. Jung Hyun-ju couldn't help saying, "Senior really is amazing. You're seriously strong." Kim Yoon-jung said calmly, "If I can't even handle something like this, I might as well hand back my special task force badge. Don't worry. I swear on the honor of the special task force that I will protect you. You can focus on removing the barrier." Yang Young-eun replied with a smile. "Of course, with all of you beside me." I feel much more at ease. Meanwhile, on the other side of the exam field, Lee Sojun asked Kim Sunwoo in confusion, "Why are we heading to the back of the exam field?" Kim Sunwoo explained, "Because there's no one here. We're going to remove the barrier from this side. That support mage at the main entrance, Yang Young-eun, is actually a demon. She's pretending to remove the barrier, but she's actually reinforcing it." Lee Seo-jun was shocked. "Then we should tell everyone immediately." After saying that, he was about to head back. Kim Sun-woo quickly stopped him. "It's only a suspicion. We don't have proof yet. I can't guarantee that everyone will believe me. So, when I start removing the barrier, I want you to tell everyone. Compared to an ordinary student, they'll definitely trust you more. After all, you're a world-famous genius." Lee Seo-jun fell silent for a long time. Finally, he nodded. "You're sure you can remove the barrier, right?" Kim Sun-woo nodded. Then, he summoned his outsider privilege. In just an instant, the barrier began to fade away. Yang Young-eun was shocked when she saw it. Why was the barrier disappearing? Chun-hae was just as stunned. His proudest demon barrier had actually been broken? Kim Sun-woo said calmly, "I thought a world-class barrier would be more impressive. Looks like it wasn't anything special. Let's go. Time to solve the case." Before leaving, Lee Seo-jun suddenly asked, "I want to ask you something. Why are you hiding your accomplishments?" Kim Sun-woo smiled faintly, "Because my current life is already enough for me. I hope you can keep everything that happened here completely secret." Meanwhile, Chun-hae shouted furiously, "Yang Young-in, you useless fool. You couldn't even maintain one barrier." Yang Young-eun had no way to defend herself. She was certain she had double-locked it. So how had the barrier been broken? "You guys have worked hard. Leave the rest to us. Watch me tear them apart." After the barrier disappeared, Teacher Jang led the other teachers and charged toward the goblins outside. They made short work of the monsters in the area. Teacher Lee smiled and said, "Teacher Jang, your magic is still as clean and efficient as ever." Teacher Jang replied, "Teacher Lee, your signature heavy strike is still just as impressive." Just then, Jung Hyunju and the others walked over and told them to stop complimenting each other. Teacher Kim also said, "We still don't know who caused this chaos." At that moment, Kim Young-jun spoke up. "There is one suspicious person." The next moment, she grabbed Yang Young-eun by the collar. "What exactly were you doing while I was removing the barrier?" But in the next moment, she was pulled back by Teacher Jang. "Teacher Kim, what are you doing?" Teacher Jang hurriedly said, "This person might be a demon." Hearing that, Yang Young-eun immediately put on a pitiful expression. Even the people nearby couldn't help sighing when they saw her. And she calls herself a teacher? She's actually accusing someone who just helped us. Yang Young-eun said in an aggrieved voice, "I only took more time because I had to compensate for your extremely poor skill level. How can you falsely accuse me of being a demon?" Teacher Kim's expression changed. "You're calling that a false accusation?" Just then, Lee Seo-jun spoke. "Teacher Kim, every time you tried to remove the barrier, it was double-locked again, wasn't it?" Teacher Kim was shocked and immediately asked Lee Seo-jun how he knew that. Of course, Kim Sun-woo had told him. But Lee Seo-jun felt like if he said that, Kim Sun-woo might beat him to death. Although he didn't want to lie to a teacher, he had no other choice. So Lee Seo-jun awkwardly said that he understood a little about how barriers worked. As expected, the words of the genius Lee Seo-jun carried weight. A teacher immediately stepped forward and said that if Lee Seo-jun said so, then Yang Young-eun was indeed suspicious. Yang Young-eun was immediately startled. Her eyes darted toward her accomplices beside her. Just then, powerful demonic energy suddenly erupted from Chun-hae's body. He said coldly, "Continue what you're supposed to do." But that demonic energy was quickly detected by Kim Do-kyun nearby. Such powerful demonic energy. This man must be the mastermind. The two immediately launched an attack at Chun-hae, but in the blink of an eye, Chun-hae vanished before them. Seeing this, Yang Young-eun sneered. "In that case, let's continue doing what we came here to do." As soon as she finished speaking, the demons in the arena went berserk. Then, Yang Young-eun turned her gaze to Lee Seo-jun. "You damn brat, you ruined my plan." But in the next instant, her head was sent flying into the air. Lee Seo-jun said coldly, "Mess with me? You picked the wrong guy." Kim Do-kyun was speechless. This kid was getting way too good at acting cool. The berserk demons were suppressed by the teachers before they could truly cause chaos. Even the teachers couldn't help wondering if these demons had something wrong with their brains. If they were sane, why would they try something like this at the Magic Military Academy, a place filled with the most elite mages, after everything was handled? Kim Do-kyun also walked up to Lee Seo-jun. The moment Lee Seo-jun saw him, his back instantly straightened, dropping the cool act entirely. Kim Do-kyun said calmly, "No need to be so tense, Sojun. It's been a year since we last met. After this is over, go claim your reward for subduing the demons." Lee Sojun nodded respectfully. Still, where exactly did Senwoo go? Meanwhile, in another corner of the campus, Ara, I heard you're the second-ranked student in the second year at the Magic Military Academy. But honestly, I'm disappointed. I didn't expect the so-called genius, rumored to rival Lee Seo-jun, to be this unimpressive. Or is that burden beside you, stopping you from showing your true ability? Just then, Ara whispered to Yoon Ha-um, "Find a chance to run. I'll deal with this annoying bastard myself." After saying that, Ara attacked Kim Sam, but Kim Sam showed no fear at all and charged straight toward her. Too weak, far too weak. Is this all second place can do? In an instant, Kim Sam rushed right in front of Ara. "Looks like you're not the one I'm looking for, but high-quality mana still flows in your blood. How irresistible. Now, let's end this little farce." Just then, several ice spears suddenly shot toward Kim Sam's arm. Kim Sam turned his head in confusion. "You little brat, are you looking down on me?" Yoon Ha-um shouted angrily. "You demon, let Ara go." Kim Sam laughed after hearing that. "Your friendship is truly touching. But with your pathetic skills, do you really think you can hurt me?" As he spoke, Kim Sam prepared to attack Yoon Ha-um. Yoon Ha-um was terrified. Even Ara had lost to him. How could she possibly win? But she couldn't abandon the friend who had protected her just to save herself. The next moment, a huge amount of mana gathered in her hand. In an instant, that mana pierced straight through Demon Kim Sam's arm. Kim Sam was shocked. The wound wasn't healing? This was the power only the prophesied child possessed. Yoon Ha-um was just as stunned. Why had her mana attribute suddenly changed? But in the next moment, she collapsed from mana exhaustion. Seeing that, a sick smile spread across Kim Sam's face. "The heavens are truly smiling upon me. They really are. I can't believe I actually found the prophesied child. Now, let me taste how the blood of the prophesied child differs from other mages." Just then, Kim Sunwoo arrived and interrupted Kim Sam, who was about to cast a spell. "The prophesied child is an important companion to Lee Sojun, so I can't let you do that. The only one dying here today is you." Kim Sam's expression darkened. "Where did this brat come from? This battle has nothing to do with you. Stay out of my way." As he spoke, Kim Sam launched a mana blast at Kim Sunwoo. But the attack was completely blocked by the shield Kim Sunwoo had prepared in advance. Then, Kim Sunwoo controlled his mana and sent it crashing toward Kim Sam. Kim Sam was instantly knocked to the ground. His face was filled with disbelief. How could a child possess this much mana? Kim Sunwoo said calmly, "I may look young, but I've got an old soul." Kim Sam froze. "What kind of nonsense is that? Wait, that doesn't matter. Let's talk this out." As he spoke, Kim Sam glanced toward Yoon Ha-um beside them. The prophesied child was lying there quietly. He still had a chance, as long as he could obtain her blood. With that thought, Kim Sam immediately charged toward Yoon Ha-um. But in the next moment, his head was sliced clean off by Kim Seon-woo's magic. Just then, the system displayed a notification. "Successfully subdued B-rank villain Kim Sam. Causality has increased by 0.4. Achievement obtained. Savior, you have gained 3,000 reward points." A satisfied smile instantly spread across Kim Sun-woo's face. All that work finally hadn't been for nothing. Then he turned his gaze to Yoon Ha-um, who was lying on the ground. It was not yet time for her to awaken. Only by letting the demons who saw the prophesied child as their natural enemy continue targeting the academy could she and Lee Seo-jun grow even better from this. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo turned his gaze to Ara beside her. "Thank goodness, you both survived." The next day, news of the demons attacking the Magic Military Academy appeared before everyone. Ara looked at the news with a helpless expression. She hadn't done anything, yet she was being treated like a hero. Yoon Ha-um said, "How can you say you did nothing? If you hadn't protected me from the demon, I would definitely be dead by now." Ara said coldly, "Yoon Ha-um, go back to your bed." Yoon Ha-um ignored her completely and sat straight down on Ara's hospital bed. Ara sighed helplessly. "I only suffered minor injuries, but the academy is making such a big deal out of it." Yoon Ha-um suggested, "Maybe they just want you to rest properly." Ara frowned. "I heard that while I was unconscious. You fought the demon. Why didn't you run away? We're not close enough for you to risk your life for me." Yoon Ha-um smiled faintly. "Even if it had been someone else, I think they would have done the same in that situation. When I was alone, someone once reached out to help me too. So I want to become that kind of person as well. Someone who can help others. When I made up my mind, I found the courage to face the demon. So, Era, when you're in trouble, try asking others for help too. Hearing that, Era's body began trembling unnaturally. Asking others for help? What a ridiculous phrase. In the next instant, tragic memories slammed into her mind. No matter how desperately she cried out, no one had reached out to help. She could only watch helplessly as her family was swallowed by the flames. Ara said quietly, I don't need anyone's help. Yoon-ha replied, fine, but you can at least say thank you this time, right? If Kim Sun-woo hadn't come to save us, neither of us would be alive right now. Hearing Kim Sun-woo's name, Ara was startled. You're saying Kim Sun-woo saved us? What are you talking about? Yoon-ha smiled faintly. Let him explain the details himself. As soon as Yoon-ha finished speaking, Kim Sun-woo appeared at the door. Are you two feeling okay? As he spoke, Kim Sun-woo pulled out a hefty surprise from his coat. This is the reward for subduing the demon. 5 million won. Ara was confused. Didn't you kill the demon? Why are you giving this to me? Kim Sun-woo explained. Because by the time I arrived, the demon was already almost finished. That was all thanks to your firepower earlier and Yoon-ha support. It really was an intense battle. I only landed the final hit. Ara was silent for a moment, then said, thank you for the gesture, but no. I'd feel uncomfortable accepting money I only got because someone else helped me. You and Yoon-ha can split the 5 million won. And thank you for saving me. After saying that, Ara pulled the bed curtain shut and turned away. Kim Sun-woo was completely confused. He had planned to use this chance to score some quick friendship points with Ara. Had he been too impatient? But just then, the system displayed a notification. Character Ara's interest in you has increased. Character Ara's interest level is now level 1. You have gained 2,000 reward points. Yoon-ha also said from the side, don't mind her. Acting like that probably just means she's embarrassed. Kim Sun-woo nodded. After all, the affection window was right there in front of him. Then he summoned the reality discount window. Finally, he could buy that sweet piece of gear. As for Ara, she knew very well that Kim Sun-woo was lying. When she passed out, the demon had been nowhere near death. This guy was neither purely attack type nor purely support type. Yet he had shown tremendous talent in every area, almost as if he had suddenly become a genius. And Yoon-ha, who had always ranked near the bottom, had also displayed an impressive level of manifestation ability. Apparently, it was all thanks to Kim Sun-woo's help. Why would someone with that kind of ability choose to live quietly? He was at the age where young people loved showing off more than anything. Yet he chose to hide his strength. Could it be that Kim Sun-woo's family had also been hurt by those people? Was that why he hid his power and kept growing stronger in the shadows? At that moment, Ara felt like she understood. That had to be it. Back with Kim Sun-woo, he looked at Yoon-ha and asked, you didn't tell anyone about that matter, right? Yoon-ha said she had not told anyone about the power she awakened while fighting the demon. Like you said, drawing too much attention would make training difficult. More importantly, I want to study this power myself. The power that can defeat demons. Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo finally relaxed. Compared to the original plot, Yoon-ha had awakened her demon-slaying power about a month early. Right now, she still lacked experience and strength. To make sure she could help Lee So-joon in the future battle against the Demon King and become a stable companion, Kim Sun-woo said, from now on, I'll prepare a training plan for you. If there's anything you're curious about, you can ask me. Yoon-ha immediately looked miserable. Actually, there is one thing I'm curious about. I heard that after the barrier was removed, you ran straight to the training field. Was it because of me? During the midterm exam and this attack, you kept caring about me so much. Does that mean Kim Sun-woo, you? Kim Sun-woo was instantly startled. What was with this sudden light novel rom-com cliché? The next moment, he hurriedly grabbed Yoon-ha-on's wrist. He quickly explained, it's not what you're thinking. During the midterm exam, I just thought you had potential. As for the demon incident, I only rushed over because I saw the explosion. Hearing that, Yoon-ha-on's heart sank. So she had been overthinking it. Kim Sun-woo cautiously asked, wait, do you have some other kind of feelings for me? Yoon-ha immediately shot it down. Nonsense. How could I possibly have feelings like that for you? Seeing that Yoon-ha had been successfully redirected, Kim Sun-woo finally let out a breath of relief. Yoon-ha had always been the innocent and cheerful type, so it was expected that she might develop affection for him. But now was not the time. She needed to stay where she was supposed to be. Just then, Yoon-ha said, you're right. I shouldn't have misunderstood. As she spoke, she handed a thick stack of cash to Kim Sun-woo. This is my tuition fee. We can keep working together from now on, right, teacher? Seeing that thick stack of cash, Kim Sun-woo's eyes lit up with burning motivation. I will definitely train you properly. Just then, a phone ringtone interrupted Kim Sen-woo. When he saw the message, he was immediately stunned. Why was money being deposited into his account? Lee So-jun, you innocent-looking bastard. I can't believe you learned how to pull a fast one too. Another day soon passed. After the midterm exam ended, Kim Sun-woo met teacher Lee's condition and successfully entered the special class. The best talents from each year of the Magic Military Academy had all gathered there. When Lee So-jun saw Kim Sun-woo arrive, he quickly greeted him. Just then, a large hand suddenly landed on Kim Sun-woo's shoulder. Don't tell me you think that just because you landed the final hit on a half-dead demon, you can stand on equal footing with us. Kim Sun-woo said calmly. I entered because I met Teacher Lee's condition. If you have a problem with that, take it up with Teacher Lee. The other person sneered. Looks like you still don't understand the situation. Do I need to drag you out? Just then, Lee Seo-jun also stepped forward. Park In-hwan, I suggest you behave yourself. Park In-hwan brushed him off completely. Before you defend him, do you know how much this bastard dragged down our class average? At that moment, URS spoke up. Kim Sun-woo ranked 19th on the midterm exam. If we don't count the entrance test, he's quite a bit stronger than you. So I think the one dragging down the level here is you, Park In-hwan. Park In-hwan hadn't expected even Era to speak up for Kim Sun-woo, and his anger immediately flared. Looks like all of you care a lot about this failure. The next moment, he raised his massive fist and swung it at Kim Sun-woo. But Kim Sun-woo easily caught his fist. Park In-hwan was shocked. How was this guy's grip so strong? His arm was trapped in Kim Sun-woo's hand, and he couldn't break free at all. The next moment, he tried to summon the mana inside his body. But before his mana could rise, he took a solid punch to the face from Jung Hun-ju. Then she followed up with a kick, knocking Park In-hwan out cold on the spot. The surrounding students were completely dumbfounded. Jung Hyun-ju, however, looked at Kim Sun-woo and said, Are you okay, student Kim Sun-woo? I thoroughly enjoyed watching your midterm exam. Kim Sun-woo immediately thanked her. But shouldn't they wake Park In-hwan up first? The reason Jung Hyun-ju had come here was actually simple. The demons who had previously been hiding separately had teamed up to attack the Magic Military Academy. Unless there was an order from a demon king, demons usually acted alone. Jung Hyun-ju also found it strange that they had infiltrated the school so easily. Kim Do-hyun strongly agreed with that. That was why he needed Jung Hun-ju to go to the school, cooperate with the academy, and figure out the demon's objective, as well as the insider hidden within the academy. Bringing things back to the present, Jung Hyun-ju said, I am Jung Hyun-ju from the Special Task Force dispatched by the association. I will be in charge of this special class course. The students were shocked. The Special Task Force had actually sent someone to handle their special class? Were they going to be assigned demon subjugation missions or anti-terrorist suppression tasks? Jung Hyun-ju nodded after hearing that. However, we won't throw rookies like you directly into real combat. Starting now, under my guidance, you will search an area where monsters have appeared. It is filled with danger, so if you find anything suspicious, report it to me immediately. Of course, most of that was just meant to scare them. The place was not actually a dangerous area, but a secret training ground belonging to the Special Task Force. Although there was an underground maze there, it had already been completely cleared. They could also precisely locate suspicious individuals through monitoring magic circles installed throughout the area. The reason the Special Task Force was doing this was that compared to other students, the students in this special class had more freedom of movement, and the insider was likely hiding among them. That was probably Jung Hun-ju's reasoning. Unfortunately, they were looking in completely the wrong direction. There was indeed a demon insider inside the school, but that person was extremely cunning and would be lying low for quite some time. Right now, the most important thing was helping Lee So-jun obtain an S-rank item, clearing the hidden stage inside the dungeon, and assisting Chae Se-yun. So, who would partner with Lee So-jun during this special class activity? Care to make a bet? Just then, Jung Hyun-ju lightly tapped the floor with the tip of her sword. After every student's attention was focused on her, she slowly said, Next, teams will be formed in pairs through a lottery draw. This time, Kim Sen-woo smiled faintly. He was definitely going to make the plot follow the original story. He had no idea why there was suddenly a lottery draw this time, but surely there wouldn't be any major variables, right? But in the next second, Kim Sun-woo froze. Who am I? Where am I? What is happening? And why was Choi Se-yun, the first-year prodigy, standing beside him? The variable had really happened. Choi Se-yun looked at the dejected Kim Sun-woo beside her, feeling deeply offended. Was being paired with her really that disappointing? No matter how anyone looked at it, she was still the first-year prodigy. Everyone else clearly wanted to get close to her. No, Senior Lee Sojun was the same too. So what right did this man have to be dissatisfied with her? Before Choi Se-yeon could finish complaining in her heart, Kim Sun-woo had already started walking ahead. The surrounding students nearly cried at the sight. This damn bottom feeder had actually taken the adorable Se-yeon Jr. for himself. They wanted a warm little date with a cute junior too. Lee So-jun felt that they were probably exaggerating. This was just a training session. Yu-ara also thought these men were pathetic. But the surrounding students insisted that they didn't understand. This was Choi Se-yeon, a young lady from one of the 5 great families, beautiful, talented, and kind to others. Back when she smiled at them for the first time, they had already started thinking about where to buy their shared grave plots. But wasn't there another young lady from a prestigious family right here? No, she was different from Yu-ara. Our Se-yeon is the absolute best in the world. And now, that perfect Se-yeon was standing beside some random senior who had come out of nowhere. They were truly jealous of Kim Sun-woo. As for Kim Sun-woo, the two of them walked without saying a single word. When had the world's best Choi Se-yeon ever suffered this kind of treatment? She looked at Kim Sun-woo's back, growing more and more suspicious. Not only was this person close to Lee So-jun, the rising star and #1 student in the school, but he had also entered the special class. At that moment, Choi Se-yeon felt that Kim Sun-woo was covered in layers of mystery and was extremely suspicious. Just then, Kim Sun-woo's system displayed a notification. Character Choi Se-yeon has become curious about you. You have gained 500 reward points. Feeling like Choi Se-yeon's gaze was about to bore a hole through the back of his head, Kim Sun-woo broke the silence first. I think something's going on over there. Want to check it out? Choi Se-yeon smiled faintly and nodded. Finally, he couldn't hold back anymore, actually trying to play hard to get like a kid. Then let's work well together from here on, senior. In the original story, Choi Se-yeon had also used this harmless-looking expression to successfully slip into Lee So-jun's team. Could Kim Sun-woo use her as bait to draw Lee So-jun over and get the plot back on track? Just then, Choi Se-yeon spoke again. You really surprised me. You used to be like that, yet now you've entered the special talent class. Kim Sun-woo thought this girl really didn't know how to make conversation. Then Choi Se-yeon continued. Actually, you don't need to push yourself this hard. If you stand out too much, you may end up making enemies. People may not show it openly, but besides Park In-won, there are definitely others who are unhappy that you entered the special class. Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo said without concern, don't worry about it. In everyone else's eyes, Choi Se-yeon had been born with everything. But beneath that perfect surface, Kim Sun-woo knew she was hiding a completely different side. To meet her family's strict demands and standards, the effort and resilience she had put in were far beyond what ordinary people could imagine. It was precisely because of those things that Choi Se-yeon had become so flawless in front of others. She was friendly to everyone, but the people who could ultimately remain by her side were those who could increase her value. Only by wearing that mask could she survive alone in high society. Choi Se-yeon couldn't understand why Kim Sun-woo was so determined to enter the special class. Kim Sun-woo explained that he had a life goal that could only be achieved by entering the special class. Hearing the words life goal, Choi Se-yeon's heart sank. Her life had already been planned out by her family. All she could do was walk the path they had laid out for her. Thinking of that, Choi Se-yeon sighed helplessly. Maybe that's why the teachers all like you. Then, once you enter the special class, what exactly do you want to do? Kim Sun-woo was just about to answer when his expression suddenly changed. He hurriedly reached out and pulled Choi Se-yeon away. The next moment, the spot where Choi Se-yeon had been standing was pierced by a sword formed from mana. Kim Sun-woo immediately felt that Park In-won had truly lost his mind. Just then, Park In-won said coldly, I'll give you one last chance. If you still value your life, then behave yourself at school from now on. Faced with such an unreasonable demand, Kim Sun-woo naturally chose to refuse. The moment he said that, Park In-won flew into a rage and attacked both of them. Everything was recorded by the monitoring magic circles. At that moment, Baek Yi-jin, who was watching the surveillance magic, looked helpless. Although this was the captain's order, could a demon spy really be hiding among them? Just then, Jung Hyun-ju asked about the situation. Baek Yi-jin replied, nothing special, aside from a few kids fighting. But as soon as she finished speaking, she froze. Did those kids have some kind of blood feud? The battle on Kim Sun-woo's side had already reached a fever pitch. Although Kim Sun-woo wanted to end it quickly, Park In-hwan, ranked 5th in the second year, was no pushover either. Just then, Choi Se-yeon suddenly put away her magic and tried to talk him down. Kim Sun-woo immediately wondered if the women in this novel all had something wrong with them. If villains could be persuaded by talk no jutsu, then what was Lee Seo-jun even needed for? Sure enough, after hearing Choi Se-yeon's words, Park In-won only grew even angrier. His next attack directly destroyed the monitoring magic circle in that area. Baek Hee-jin, who had been watching everything, was instantly shocked. These kids definitely had some kind of blood feud. Jung Hyun-ju was also startled and quickly said, "I'll go stop them now. You keep monitoring the other areas." Meanwhile, back with Kim Sun-woo, Choi Se-yeon hurriedly used magic to block Park In-won's furious strike. Seeing that his best strike had been blocked, Park In-won became even more enraged. Why couldn't you just keep living like a clown, the way you used to? Choi Se-yeon also felt that Park In-won had a screw loose. If he wanted to insult Kim Sun-woo, then fine, but why was he attacking her too? Just then, Choi Se-yeon suddenly froze. Kim Sun-woo raised his hand and stood in front of her. "Let me handle him." In his previous life, Kim Sun-woo had always ignored Park In-hwan's evil actions, because back then, he had believed he was just an insignificant side character who should not affect the development of the plot. Besides, this bastard was only a minor villain who appeared at the beginning and became irrelevant later. But now, things were different. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo activated Heart of Nature. In an instant, he disappeared from Park In-hwan's sight. Park In-hwan was shocked. What the hell was this guy? Man or ghost? But in the next second, Kim Sun-woo's hand clamped tightly over his face. The worst thing he did was drag someone else into this. After saying that, Kim Sun-woo slammed Park In-hwan into the ground. The tremendous force cracked the floor, yet Park In-hwan's head somehow remained unharmed. At that moment, Park In-hwan was both shocked and terrified. Since when had this guy become so strong? Kim Sun-woo only stared at him coldly. Park In-hwan instantly folded and said he would never do it again. Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected this kid to fold so fast. Where did all that arrogance from earlier go? Choi Se-yeon also stepped forward and said they should leave it at that. But Kim Sun-woo still felt annoyed. He grabbed Park In-hwan by the hair. "If you ever show up in front of me again, I'll kill you." Park In-hwan hurriedly nodded. Then he asked carefully, "Can you promise not to tell anyone what happened here?" After receiving Kim Sun-woo's confirmation, Park In-hwan immediately bolted. Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected the kid to bolt so quickly, but from here on out, things wouldn't be so easy for him, because starting now, Park In-hwan would receive the full attention of the Special Task Force. And just as Kim Sun-woo predicted, the fleeing Park In-hwan soon appeared in the Special Task Force's field of view. He had been fighting just moments ago, and now he was rushing away in a panic. Naturally, that drew the Special Task Force's suspicion. Before long, Park In-hwan realized that someone was chasing him. And the one chasing him was none other than that old hag who had knocked him out with a single kick before. Park In-hwan nearly exploded inside. Why the hell was this damn woman chasing him? It wasn't like he had done anything completely heinous. Back with Kim Sun-woo, he figured this level of chaos should be enough to split the Special Task Force's attention. Just then, the weapon magic formed in Choi Se-yeon's hand lightly touched his neck. Anyone who had played these kinds of games knew exactly how wild that thrill was. Choi Se-yeon immediately withdrew her magic and apologized, though surprise still lingered in her eyes. "Sorry, but it still feels unreal. You really defeated Park In-hwan, one of the top 5? Kim Sun-woo explained. "I only scared him off with pressure. If he had attacked me with real killing intent, I definitely wouldn't have won. Still, I should apologize. Because of me, you got dragged into this mess. And originally, you were supposed to be paired with Lee Seo-jun." As soon as he finished speaking, the system displayed a notification. Character Choi Se-yeon's interest level has risen to level 1. Kim Sun-woo froze on the spot. What was going on? He hadn't even done anything, so why had her interest level gone up again? Was this world not a power fantasy novel at all, but some light novel dating sim? Just then, Choi Se-yeon said, "Actually, I didn't think much of you at first. Judging from your performance since school started, you were practically a clown. But the you I saw today is completely different from the person in my impression." Kim Sun-woo grew curious. "Then what kind of person am I in your eyes now?" Choi Se-yeon thought for a moment, then smiled faintly. "I suppose you're a rather interesting person, senior." After saying that, she asked, "So how much longer do you plan to rest?" Hearing that, Kim Sun-woo glanced at the time with a guilty look. "Can't we rest a little longer?" Choi Se-yeon immediately refused. "No, did you forget we're still in the middle of an exam?" But just then, a massive insect-type monster suddenly appeared in front of her. The sudden sight left Choi Se-yeon completely frozen. The next second, A scream loud enough to shake the forest rang out. Kim Son-woo's expression changed, and he hurriedly gathered magic in his hand. But before he could act, the giant insect's body was sliced apart by a flash of swordlight. Seeing that familiar magic, Kim Son-woo immediately relaxed. Looks like that man had arrived. Sure enough, in the next moment, Lee So-jun appeared before the two of them. Choi Se-yeon asked curiously, "Senior, why are you here?" Lee So-jun explained, "I was just walking around and checking if anyone needed help." But when he added that there didn't seem to be any particularly dangerous monsters nearby, Choi Se-yeon immediately felt that this was probably the difference between geniuses and ordinary people. A high-level monster in an ordinary person's eyes was nothing more than a small mob to a genius like him. Thinking that, Choi Se-yeon half-jokingly said, "If you ever sign a contract with our family, we would make your talent shine even brighter." Watching this from the side, Kim San-woo was delighted. The location and the people were both perfect now. It was time to get the main plot back on track. All the effort he had spent planning this route hadn't gone to waste. Thinking that, Kim San-woo couldn't help wondering if he actually was a genius. In that case, it was time to show off his genius-level observation skills. The next moment, Kim San-woo pretended to panic and pointed to the side. Hearing him, the two looked over in confusion. "Why is there light coming from that cave?" Kim San-woo said with a serious face, "I'm really curious. Why don't we go take a look together?" And just like that, the group entered the training dungeon that the special task force had already stopped using. As soon as they stepped inside, Lee So-jun looked ahead and was immediately surprised. Choi Se-yeon explained, "This should be a hidden stage. It's much harder than an ordinary area, but if we clear it, we can obtain rewards of much higher value." Kim San-woo hadn't expected Choi Se-yeon to know so much. As expected of someone raised by a great family, the hidden floor of the trial tower that he had cleared before was also a hidden stage. And this place before them was one too. In the original story, Lee So-jun and Choi Se-yeon worked together here to defeat the boss. This part of the story was originally about Lee So-jun clearing the hidden stage and receiving an F-rank weapon. But the weapon itself was not the truly important part. What mattered was the press conference afterward. That press conference helped Choi Se-yeon's mindset grow and allowed her to truly become a companion Lee So-jun could rely on. Thinking of that, Kim San-woo felt deeply satisfied. He had prepared everything this perfectly, so surely Lee So-jun wouldn't drop dead halfway through again, right? With that thought, Kim San-woo looked at the two of them and asked tentatively, "So should we challenge it?" After hearing that, Lee So-jun shook his head. "There are too many variables in a hidden stage. I think we should report this to the special task force first." Kim San-woo's heart nearly stopped on the spot. You innocent-looking bastard. Did he still not realize he was the protagonist of this world? Just then, the two who had been bickering suddenly froze at the same time. Choi Se-yeon had somehow been possessed by a water phantom witch. In the next moment, she launched an attack at them. When the shockwave of the attack dispersed, the monster vanished from the area as well, leaving behind only a portal that led to who knew where. As Kim San-woo stepped forward, Lee So-jun held him back, insisting that reporting it to the special task force was still the safest bet. Kim San-woo explained, "We don't have time. That monster can absorb mana. If we don't move right now, Choi Se-yeon might get drained dry." Hearing that, Lee So-jun immediately tightened his grip on his sword. It seemed there was no other choice. "Then let's go save our teammate right now." Meanwhile, the fleeing Park In-hwan was finally caught by Jung Hyun-ju. Park In-hwan had no idea what was going on. Why had the special task force suddenly targeted him? Did that kid have connections like this too? Just then, Jung Hyun-ju coldly asked him why he had run away earlier. The moment Park In-hwan heard that, the image of himself kneeling and begging for mercy flashed through his mind. He panicked instantly and gritted his teeth. "Even if I die, I won't say a word." Jung Hyun-ju's expression turned cold. "Looks like you still refuse to come clean. I was going to let you off easy since you're a student. But now I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of colluding with demons." Park In-hwan was completely baffled. He understood every word in colluding with demons, so why did the phrase feel so utterly foreign when put together? Just then, Jung Hyun-ju's earpiece suddenly crackled to life. "Emergency, senior. 3 students have entered the dungeon." Jung Hyun-ju told the other end not to panic. "That dungeon was already cleared by us, wasn't it?" But the voice immediately replied, "But we just confirmed signs of a hidden stage inside that dungeon." By now, Kim San-woo had already led Lee So-jun into the hidden dungeon. And with that, the two began their rescue mission for Choi Se-yeon. But the moment Lee So-jun stepped through the portal, the brutal environment made him shiver violently. It felt like his entire body was about to freeze solid. Kim Sen-woo looked around and frowned. Looks like it absorbed Choi Se-yeon's mana attribute and altered the environment here. At this rate, we'll freeze to death before we even find her. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo pulled out a leather coat and draped it over Lee So-jun's shoulders. Lee So-jun hadn't expected Kim Sun-woo to have such a considerate side, and for a moment, he was genuinely touched, but he quickly grew confused again. "Where did you even pull this thing from?" Kim Sun-woo calmly explained, "Because I have a spatial pocket." Lee So-jun froze the moment he heard that. A spatial pocket? That's a rare item worth hundreds of millions of gold. You actually own something like that? Kim Sun-woo casually explained, "I bought some stocks before and made a little money, but I'm not giving you the ticker." Just then, Choi Se-yeon appeared before them. Lee So-jun was instantly relieved and stepped forward, ready to take her out. But Kim Sun-woo didn't hesitate for even a second. He immediately fired a spell at Choi Se-yeon. Even the witch hadn't expected this kid to react so quickly. Still, speed alone meant nothing. As she spoke, the witch controlled Choi Se-yeon's body and attacked the two of them. But Lee So-jun blocked the strike with ease. Kim Sen-woo had already expected this. Lee So-jun's mana attribute naturally countered the witch's mana attribute. The problem was that as long as the witch continued controlling Choi Se-yeon's body, Lee So-jun could only defend. On top of that, the witch switched between offense and defense extremely quickly, while also using Choi Se-yeon's ice attribute mana to sync with the environment. The witch sneered. "Now you have nowhere left to run, do you?" As soon as she finished speaking, she attacked them again. But even her fierce assault was easily dodged by Lee So-jun. A moment later, Lee So-jun retreated beside Kim Sun-woo and asked quietly, "What now? You have a plan, right?" Kim Sen-woo nodded without hesitation. "As long as we find the witch's true body, everything becomes simple." But when they looked around, all they could see was blinding white. Finding the witch's true body in a place like this was easier said than done. In the original plot, Lee So-jun had practically swept through the entire area before finally defeating the witch. Meanwhile, Park In-won finally cracked under the accusation of being a demon spy and honestly told Jung Hyun-ju everything that had happened. Jung Hyun-ju hadn't expected this to be a misunderstanding caused by a fight between students. Still, she pressed him. "So those students entering that place really had nothing to do with you?" Park In-hwan nodded desperately and insisted that he truly knew nothing, let alone anything about demons. In that case, the hidden stage really did seem to be an accidental trigger. Jung Hyun-ju said in a low voice, "First, let's see if we can open the entrance from the outside. Otherwise, all we can do is pray they clear the hidden stage successfully." Meanwhile, after learning that a hidden stage had appeared in the trial area, the students had already fallen into complete chaos, and the most shaken among them was Yu Ara. She had never imagined Kim Sun-woo could be this unlucky. He had only joined an ordinary exam, yet somehow ended up stumbling into a hidden stage. She still had so many things she wanted to ask him. So that guy had better not die in there. Back with Kim Sen-woo. At that moment, Kim Sun-woo was saying to Lee So-jun, "You can do it. In this place you can unleash your power as much as you want. If you keep hiding your strength, Choi Se-yeon might really die." Lee So-jun hadn't expected Kim Sun-woo to see through the power he had been hiding all this time. He had always been extremely careful whenever he used his strength. This man wasn't just considerate. His observation skills were terrifyingly sharp too. Some lucky girl is going to hit the jackpot with him in the future. With that thought, Lee So-jun tightened his grip on his sword. "Then, let's go all out." The witch laughed after hearing them. "Two arrogant human brats dare to talk big in front of me." But in the next second, she could no longer laugh. Lee So-jun had decided to stop hiding. He fully released the power inside him and even threw in a show-off line. "I didn't want to do this, but since you left me no choice, I can only answer my friend's expectations." The witch's expression changed instantly. Could a human really possess this much light attribute mana? What shocked her even more was that Kim Sun-woo was telling Lee So-jun to blow up the entire dungeon. If that much light attribute mana exploded, her true body might not even leave ashes behind. Realizing that, the witch could no longer stay hidden and hurriedly returned to her true body. "You despicable humans. I won't let you destroy my lair." Kim Sun-woo laughed after hearing that. "You already left Choi Se-yeon's body. Do you really think you're still going to survive?" The witch seemed to finally realize something, and her expression changed instantly. Why had she not noticed such a simple trap earlier? It was almost as if something had forcibly nerfed her intelligence. But before she could figure it out, Lee So-jun's sword fell, slicing her into several pieces. After finishing her off, Lee Seojun even struck an incredibly edgy pose. "When you meet the Reaper, tell him I sent you." Meanwhile, the outside world had already fallen into complete chaos. After all this time, the entrance analysis had only reached 2%. Forget people getting through. Even saying a mosquito couldn't fly in would not be an exaggeration. No matter how capable a support mage they brought in, they could not force the entrance open any further. Hearing that, Jung Hyun-ju sighed helplessly. At this point, she had to step forward and take responsibility as an adult. But the person on the other end of the call was not anxious at all. They even told her to wait a little longer, saying that kid would come out on his own. Jung Hyun-ju couldn't understand what that meant. This was a B-rank hidden dungeon. But before she could even finish asking, blinding golden light erupted from the portal, as if it had punched a hole straight through the sky. The students were instantly shocked. Had the boss of the hidden dungeon come out? The most shocked among them was Yu Ara. Such overwhelming light attribute mana. That seemingly innocent Lee Seojun had actually been hiding this much power all along. At that moment, Lee Seojun looked at the sword that had followed him for 5 whole days and sighed helplessly. "I was going to name you after this was over, but you couldn't even withstand 1/10 of my mana." Just then, Kim Sun-woo told him to look ahead. A sword was lying quietly in front of them. Lee Seojun was immediately stunned. He had just destroyed one sword, and another one appeared right away, so he really did have that main character energy after all. At that moment, Kim Sun-woo pushed him forward from behind. "You need a sword anyway. This one is yours. Besides, you contributed the most to defeating the witch. I'll watch Choi Se-yeon. You go pull it out first." Soon, Lee Seojun gripped the sword. In an instant, an enormous power flowed through the blade. Lee Seojun, who had handled countless swords since he was 4 years old, immediately knew this was a genuine A-rank weapon. He hadn't expected Kim Sen-woo to willingly give up such a divine weapon. Lee Seojun thought to himself that Kim Sen-woo really was a warm-hearted man with a broad mind. At the same time, Kim Sen-woo's system displayed a series of rewards and notifications that Lee Seojun's favorability had increased. But Kim Seon-woo could not feel happy at all. Choi Se-yeon had been forcibly controlled by the Phantom Witch, and her mana had been drained continuously. She was now in a state of mana exhaustion. If she did not receive treatment in time, the consequences would be unbearable for any mage. Soon Lee Seojun came over with a pile of loot. "Since you gave me the sword, all these spoils are yours." Then he asked in confusion, "But what are you doing right now?" Kim Sen-woo was feeding an ice spirit heart into Choi Se-yeon's mouth. The next moment, Choi Se-yeon actually opened her eyes. Lee Seojun had not expected Kim Sun-woo to have something this miraculous, and it completely blew his mind. Just then, Choi Se-yeon panicked and clutched her clothes tightly. Lee Seojun couldn't help saying, "Your item really is amazing. In such a short time, she's already this lively." Soon, Choi Se-yeon finally calmed down and asked in confusion, "Where am I? Why am I here?" Kim Sun-woo explained, "We're inside a hidden stage right now. After you were kidnapped by the witch, Lee Seojun came to rescue you right away." Hearing that, Choi Se-yeon was stunned. Clearing a hidden stage at this age? Was Lee Seojun some kind of monster-level genius? Just then, the exit finally opened. Lee Seojun immediately let out a breath of relief. At last, they could leave this freezing hellhole that made him question his entire existence. But just as the two were about to leave, Kim Sun-woo suddenly called out to them, "Before you two go, can you take me with you? I have no strength left at all." Lee Seojun smiled faintly after hearing that. The next moment, he and Choi Se-yeon supported Kim Sun-woo from both sides and headed toward the exit. It seemed this incident had wrapped up perfectly after all. With this, the plot should be back on track. Next, Lee Seojun and Choi Se-yeon would become the focus of this incident, and after the press conference, they would truly build their bond as companions. Lee Seojun would also become the youngest person in history to clear a hidden stage, and the Blue Moon sword he obtained would later be revealed through appraisal. His genius performance would also be published in the International Mage newspaper, earning him worldwide attention. As for Park In-hwan, he managed to clear up the misunderstanding of being mistaken for a demon insider. However, the special task force also uncovered the fact that he had bullied other students with his group in the past, so he still received disciplinary punishment. From today onward, that bastard would no longer get in Kim Sun-woo's way. Although there had been some twists along the way, the final result was smooth enough, and the plot had mostly followed the original direction. On top of that, the special class activity had to remain confidential, so Choi Se-yeon should use this opportunity to truly become a reliable companion at Lee Seojun's side. Kim Sen-woo still didn't understand why Yoon had suddenly started caring so much about him. But he already knew what he needed to do next. Just then, Choi Se-yeon appeared in front of Kim Sun-woo without him noticing. Kim Sun-woo was wondering why she had come to see him, when Choi Se-yeon explained that she had heard an interesting story from Senior Sojun and wanted to thank him. Kim Sun-woo's heart sank. That innocent-looking bastard had sold him out again? What exactly had Lee Sojun told her? Choi Se-yeon said lightly, "Nothing much, just how you suggested rescuing me first, and how hard you fought for my sake." That sudden light novel, rom-com vibe set every alarm in Kim Sun-woo's head ringing. He quickly said, "Lee Sojun is the one who saved you. So the person you should really thank is Lee Sojun. He was the one who defeated the witch, right?" Seeing Kim Sun-woo panic while trying to explain himself, Choi Se-yeon instead revealed a playful smile. Then the image from when she first opened her eyes after fainting flashed through her mind. In the next second, her cheeks turned slightly red. Why had she never noticed before that this senior was actually kind of charming? Thinking that, Choi Se-yeon immediately panicked and hurriedly said, "Then I'll see you next time in the special class." After saying that, she left without looking back. Kim Sun-woo was left reaching out, still trying to explain, but before he could figure out what had just happened to Choi Se-yeon, the system displayed a notification that her favorability had increased. Kim Sun-woo was speechless. Was this damn system really some kind of dating sim system? Why was the plot developing like this? To avoid affecting the original story, Kim Sun-woo randomly found an older female student and confessed to her. Unfortunately, the confession failed on the spot, and she even looked at him with obvious disgust. Kim Sun-woo became confused. Had he falsely accused the system after all? Was it actually a proper system, not a dating sim system? Just then, Jang Yi spoke. "Sorry, Junior. You seem like a good person, but you're not my type. Let's just stay ordinary senior and junior from now on." After saying that, Jang Yi left without looking back. At that moment, the system suddenly displayed a notification. "You have gained Shin Young-jun's sympathy. You have received 500 reward points." Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected a failed confession to bring an unexpected bonus. But what was with that expression on Shin Young-jun's face? Shin Young-jun quickly said, "I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was just heading to the training field. Stay strong, student Kim Sun-woo." Still, your confession had meaning. Even though you got friend-zoned, I think she probably turned you down because she didn't want to draw attention. Kim Sun-woo couldn't listen to that awkward comfort anymore, so he directly asked, "Have you finished your assignments?" Hearing that, Shin Young-jun sighed helplessly. "If it were physical labor, I could probably handle it no matter how hard it was. But theory just refuses to enter my brain, no matter what I do. Maybe we were never meant to be together." Kim Sun-woo said, "If you need help, you can come to me." Shin Young-jun instantly brightened. "Really? I can?" "Of course. Why not? But I have one condition." The next day, a massive piece of news blew up across the school. Even Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected the situation to get this out of hand. All he did was have someone post a flashy declaration on the school bulletin board, staking his claim on senior Jang Yi. Even the teachers were stunned when they heard about it. Were students these bold now? Was this what youth was all about? Yoon also hadn't expected Kim Sun-woo's type to be an older woman. But Yu-ara had a different opinion. Based on what I know about him, he doesn't seem like the type to do something like this. So I'm sure it was just someone else's prank. Yoon-ha's eyes immediately lit up. "Really? Then does that mean I still have a chance?" Kim Sun-woo was completely dumbfounded. He had already gone this far, so why did they still think someone else had pranked him? Sure, he hadn't personally done it, but he was the one who asked Shin Young-jun to set the whole thing up. Shin Young-jun also felt like things had gotten a little out of hand. "And don't you think this kind of backfired?" Kim Sun-woo said out loud, "I really didn't expect it to get this serious. Still, thanks to you, I was able to express my feelings clearly, so I should thank you." But inwardly, he was impressed. As expected of Shin Young-jun, he certainly hadn't let him down. Just then, Jang Yi arrived. As expected, the moment she saw Kim Sun-woo, her face filled with absolute disgust. Kim Sun-woo was thrilled. She could be disgusted all she wanted. As long as he kept getting tangled up with her, she wouldn't be able to hurt Lee Sojun. Besides, a confession this over the top would only make people see him as an attention-seeking clown. What normal person confessed like this? His image was already ruined anyway, so he had nothing to lose. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo gave Jang Mi and her group a wink he thought was incredibly charming. Jang Yi and her group looked utterly shocked. They simply could not understand how someone this shameless could exist in the world. Kim Sun-woo was the one who felt exasperated. All he did was wink. Did they really have to react that strongly? Someone beside her quickly said, "Let's get out of here." This guy looks like the type who would drop his pants in the middle of the street. Jiang Yi also hadn't expected things to become this troublesome. If this kept up, she would never be able to get close to Lee Sojun. It seemed she would need to find a chance to quietly get rid of Kim Sunwoo. After Jiang Yi and her group left, Kim Sunwoo began reviewing the next part of the plot. If he remembered correctly, the next major event was about to begin. Meanwhile, over at the Enguk Museum, staff members were announcing closing time. They reminded the visitors to take their belongings and leave as soon as possible. After all the visitors had left, the administrator walked over to the soul vessel again. As long as there was nothing wrong with the soul vessel, nothing else mattered. With that thought, he wrote no abnormalities in the record. Just then, a woman silently appeared behind him. The administrator turned around in confusion. Do you not know the museum is closed? The exit is on the other side. But the woman ignored him completely, her eyes fixed on the soul vessel. It's still so beautiful. The administrator explained. It is beautiful, yes, but it is also extremely dangerous. That is why the Mage Association must keep it under strict supervision, to prevent the sacred relic from falling into the hands of pathetic terrorists. The woman said coldly, "Is that really it? Or does the Mage Association simply want to monopolize it?" The administrator immediately grew angry and shouted for security to drag her out. But in the next moment, the guards had already collapsed right in front of them. At the same time, a man appeared and said in disappointment, "Everything's handled. They were too weak. Is there really no stronger opponent here?" The administrator's expression changed instantly. Those defeated guards were all at least A-rank mages, yet they had been taken down silently, and the security system had not triggered a single alarm. Just then, a woman in red also appeared. With a casual strike, she destroyed the display case containing the soul vessel. The administrator was terrified, on the spot. That display case was something even S-rank mages could not easily break. He could not understand what these people were trying to do. The woman in red said coldly, "We originally came only to reclaim the sacred relic that belonged to us. But you dared to call us pathetic terrorists. Now pay the price for insulting our god." Before long, news of the terrorist attack on the N Country Museum spread across every major outlet. Although almost all records from the scene had been destroyed, the Mage Association suspected that the operation had been planned by Executive Burt. When Yu Ara saw the news, her expression immediately changed. Yoon Ha-eum thought she had been frightened by the attack. Yu Ara quickly said she was fine. "I'm going out for some air." Seeing that, Kim Sun-woo immediately understood what was happening. Looks like the next plot node was about to begin. Yu Ara's first clash with the main villain organization was not far away. Meanwhile, Bert, the mastermind behind everything, was admiring his own work inside Joe Group. He even studied the photo and commented seriously, "This shot isn't bad. The parts that should look big, and the details that should be sharp are sharp." Joe In-jin explained, "The timing was too tight. You moved before we had fully cracked the security system." Natasha felt it wasn't entirely Bert's fault. After all, who told that museum director to call them a bunch of pathetic terrorists? Joe In-jin said calmly, "To be fair, we are looking pretty pathetic right now. If this were the old days, flattening the entire area around the museum wouldn't even count as a big deal." Ba Hong sighed from the side. Times have changed. This operation was indeed too reckless, and now the Special Task Force and Dawnblade are both hunting us non-stop. Just then, Bert suggested, "Why don't we lay low somewhere quiet for a few days? How about Korea? The place with all those powerful people? I've wanted to visit the Korean Magic Arena for a long time." Joe In-jin also had no objection. "But what if we run into Kim Jung-chul?" Bert waved it off. "No need to worry. There's an old Chinese saying, the most dangerous place is the safest place. No one will expect us to go there. Besides, I want to meet him as soon as possible. You all know what that child means to us, don't you?" Natasha didn't understand. "We already sent someone to keep a close eye on him. So why has he still been dragged into so many incidents?" Bert didn't explain further and simply said, "Then it's decided. Contact Big Sunchung. Tell him we'll be arriving soon." Back with Kim Sun-woo. He genuinely could not figure out why Seon insisted on making him come out in person. Couldn't she just have someone deliver the items to him? After all, his fake identity had already caught Yoon Ha-eun's interest. Seon said, "It's been a while since we met, so I wanted to see you too. Here are the items you requested. Divine medicine potions and high durability combat boots." The moment Kim Sun-woo opened the box, he froze. These boots were actually dual attribute items, and dual attribute items were not just a few times more expensive than single attribute ones. The price gap was on a completely different level. Seon only said lightly, "These are nothing. My philosophy is that a gift should ensure the receiver is never disappointed." After saying that, she called for the waiter to serve the food. The moment the dishes arrived, Kim Sun-woo was completely blown away. No wonder this was the restaurant where Lee So-jun, in the original story, almost fainted from happiness after one bite. Even the presentation alone was top tier. Now it was time for him to personally find out whether the taste was really that exaggerated. The next moment, delicate mushroom sauce melted across his tongue. Rich aroma burst out with the juices, while the premium Korean beef roast wrapped inside reacted perfectly with the red wine sauce. That unmatched flavor exploded in his mouth almost instantly. Not even his mom could make something this good. This had to be what heaven tasted like. Just then, Se-yeon said from beside him, "I had the same reaction when I first came to this restaurant. Looks like inviting you here was worth it." Before long, Kim Seon-woo had completely wiped out everything on the table. After finishing the meal, Kim Sun-woo put down his utensils. "After being treated this warmly, I can't exactly just sit here shamelessly and do nothing." Se-yeon calmly said she didn't need any repayment and she wasn't short on money anyway. Kim Sun-woo asked, "Then what if I offer something more valuable than money? You looked troubled earlier. It's because of a terrorist threat, right?" Se-yeon's expression changed instantly. Even the media didn't know about that yet. She couldn't understand how Kim Sun-woo knew. Kim Sun-woo put on a mysterious act. "Let's just say I have my ways. Now tell me what exactly happened." Se-yeon stayed silent for a moment, before finally sighing. "It's all because of Organization Joe." Ever since news about Organization Joe had been exposed, the national crime rate had shot up. But Kim Sun-woo knew very well that this had almost nothing to do with Organization Joe. The real culprit was an alchemist operating in the underground world, Jo Sung-hoon. With that in mind, Kim Sun-woo gave her a hint. "You should check the recent financial status of your company's security staff. I think you'll find something interesting." After that, the two walked out of the restaurant together. Kim Seon-woo was still a little worried. He had revealed so much information he technically shouldn't know. Would that make Se-yeon suspicious of him instead? But in the next moment, Se-yeon directly extended an offer to him. "If I had your help, I wouldn't lose the competition against my brother. You don't need to worry about compensation either. What I can offer you will be beyond anything you imagine." Kim Sun-woo quickly said, "I won't jump ship just because the benefits are good, but I'll continue helping you." Seon didn't seem surprised. "I didn't expect you to agree right away. Let's schedule another meal next time. By then, I'll bring even better conditions and make you a proper offer." To be fair, Seon's proposal was extremely tempting. But if he accepted, he would only drift farther away from Lee So-jun. So no matter how many times she asked, Kim Sun-woo could not agree. The next day soon arrived. The teacher announced from the podium that next week there would be a theory research assignment done in pairs. The students immediately exploded after hearing that. With such short notice, where are we supposed to find partners? Are partners going to fall from the sky? Teacher, please extend the deadline. Unfortunately, the teacher rejected the request on the spot. Kim Sun-woo wasn't worried at all. When it came to theory, calling himself unbeatable wasn't even an exaggeration. All he needed now was to find any suitable partner. Just then, Yu-ara walked up to Kim Sun-woo. In a tone that allowed no refusal, she said, "You, pair up with me." The surrounding students immediately started teasing them. But Yu-ara only swept them with a cold glance. You could hear a pin drop in the classroom instantly. Then she looked back at Kim Sun-woo. "So, do you have any problem pairing with me?" Kim Sun-woo quickly shook his head. "No problem at all. Even if he did, he wouldn't dare say it. If he said anything now, he would definitely die, right?" Yu-ara nodded in satisfaction. "Good. After school, I'll wait for you at the training field." Kim Sun-woo figured this was fine too. He needed a partner anyway. But when he actually arrived at the training field, he froze on the spot. Why was he suddenly being kabedoned by Yu-ara? Could someone please explain what kind of development this was? So this system really was a dating sim system, after all, wasn't it? Yu-ara stared at him and said quietly, "I already know your true identity. Are you still going to keep pretending?" Kim Sun-woo froze on the spot. His true identity? Wait, which true identity was she talking about? Yu-ara said coldly, "The first time you pried into my personal affairs, I thought something was strange. There's no way you could know those things unless you had deliberately investigated me. So you really are a victim who got caught up in Organization Joe's terrorist attack, aren't you? Just like me." Kim Sun-woo's mind went blank. Organization Joe's terrorist attack? Wasn't that the incident from 13 years ago? When that organization hunted prominent mage families and minority clans. He remembered that in the original novel, they operated based on the power of mysteries, and Yu-ara's family was one of the 5 great mage families. Back then, Countless family treasures had been plundered by them. That was also why Yura had decided to become stronger, all for the sake of taking revenge on Organization Joe. For 13 years, she had pushed herself desperately, trying to become powerful enough to kill them with her own hands. But Kim Sun-woo hadn't expected her to mistake him for one of Organization Joe's victims too. So he tested the waters and asked, "What made you think that?" Yura said, "I already felt that way during the midterm exam, and yesterday's incident confirmed it for me. You heard such shocking news, yet you stayed unnaturally calm, as if you had been waiting for them to show up all along. I understand that feeling. At first, you feel shocked, but at the same time, you feel relieved, because at long last, you finally have a chance to take revenge on those bastards." Seeing Yura's almost obsessive expression, alarms started blaring in Kim Sun-woo's head. He quickly tried to stop her. "Don't do anything stupid. They're basically an organization made up of S-rank mages. With our current level, charging at them would be suicide." Yura cut him off coldly. "Don't use the word our. Do you know how many victims of Organization Joe there are in this world? I know you lost something precious because of them too. But you can't understand what I endured over the past 13 years. No one can understand my pain." Just as she finished speaking, Yura suddenly noticed the scars on Kim Sun-woo's wrist. In that instant, she felt like she understood everything. Weren't those the marks of his desperate training for the day he would finally face them? Just then, the system displayed another notification. "You have gained Yura's sympathy." Yura said quietly, "I'm sorry. I brought up your painful memories, though I know this hardly counts as a real apology. But I'll do my best to help you complete tomorrow's assignment." Kim Sun-woo was even more confused. Was now really the time to talk about assignments? Just from her expression, it was obvious she had taken this misunderstanding in a wildly wrong direction again. He quickly said, "Let's put the assignment aside for now. Let's talk about revenge instead. Do you remember the first day of the semester? I really did think you were better than the two people on stage. When I said you were stronger than them, I wasn't just saying empty words. If you trust me, I can definitely help you become even stronger than you are now." You saw how much Yoon-ha changed, didn't you? As soon as he finished speaking, Yura tossed him a bottle of ointment. "Take care of the wounds on your hand first, and revenge has no meaning unless I carry it out myself." After saying that, Yura turned and left the training field. In Yura's mind, Kim Sun-woo had clearly been training desperately for revenge. But when she thought about how miserable he had been at the start of the semester, he seemed far too pitiful. So she would end this revenge herself. She would not let Kim Sun-woo get dragged into this incident again. After that, Yura went to find her older sister. "Why are you so against this? You know I want to take revenge on them with my own hands too. Just like the special task force and your Dawn Blade." Her sister stayed silent for a moment before asking softly, "Do you really want to know why, Era?" "Because I want you, my only remaining family, to live a happy life." Night soon fell. Although the whole day had been a mess, Yura, who usually avoided deep communication with others, had actually opened up to Kim Sun-woo and shared her past. In terms of character route progression, that was a huge step forward. The problem was that she had mistaken Kim Sun-woo for a victim of Organization Joe. What was he supposed to do about this misunderstanding? As for the wound on his hand, it was actually something he had inflicted on himself to gain the adaptation trait for the dagger he obtained from the hidden stage. But if he explained that, would anyone actually believe him? What normal person would believe someone sliced up their own hand just to adapt to a weapon? Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo sighed helplessly. Then he refined his mana while thinking through the next development in the plot. Organization Joe was an unavoidable enemy, not only to help Yura get revenge, but also to help Lee So-jin continue growing. And if Kim Sun-woo wanted to put on a good enough performance during this incident, he first needed to strengthen his foundation. A few days passed in the blink of an eye, and today the school officially began its mercenary experience activity. It was one of the students' elective field experience programs. Students had to form teams, accept missions from mercenary groups across the country, and assist them for the next 3 days. According to the original plot, Kim Sun-woo's group would be assigned to help the large mercenary organization Black Flame with an escort mission. As for why they had traveled all the way out here, the reason was simple. Lee So-jun, that innocent-looking protagonist, had been personally requested by the client. The problem was that the troublesome senior, Jang Yi, was also in this group. With so many experienced mercenaries around, she probably wouldn't dare attack Lee So-jun. But just to be safe, before they reached the destination, Kim Sun-woo had to keep a close eye on her and make sure she never got near Lee So-jun. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo gave his perfect plan a big mental thumbs up then picked up a bottle of water and handed it to Jang Yi. Jang Yi rejected it without even wanting to look at him. Kim Sunwoo immediately asked, "Then do you want a towel to wipe off your sweat?" Jang Yi said coldly, "You should give it to the juniors behind us." In her heart, she was already beyond annoyed. How could this man be this irritating? She would have to find a chance to deal with him sooner or later. Lee Sojun, who saw the whole thing from the group, couldn't help smiling. It seemed those two were close to making it official, and clearly, it was all thanks to his efforts behind the scenes. Yu-Ara only thought he was unbelievably shameless. Just then, Jung Ho-jun, the captain of Black Flame Mercenary Group's 6th squad, and also a mage, stopped the group from messing around. "We've arrived at the mission site." A magnificent manor appeared before them. Jung Ho-jun said, "This is where we'll be working. I'm guessing even famous geniuses like you haven't seen a place like this before." Lee So-jun nodded honestly. "I really haven't." Then, Jung Ho-jun began explaining the mission. Although this mission is only Earth grade in difficulty, several items from this mansion's collection have recently been stolen. So starting today, for the next 3 days, you will assist our Black Flame Mercenary Group. Your job is to guard this mansion. But before he could even finish, Jung Ho-jun realized that these students were no longer listening. Their attention had already drifted to the artworks hanging on the walls. Yu-Ara asked Kim Sunwoo curiously, "Why do you know about these things too?" Kim Sunwoo casually replied, "I just like studying." Just then, a woman came down from upstairs. "I didn't expect someone to appreciate my work this much. You may call me Charlotte. I am also the client who specifically requested Lee Seo-jin for this mission. I look forward to working with all of you students from the Magic Military Academy for the next 3 days." Her true identity, however, was Executive Burt of Organization Joe. At the same time, the other members of Organization Joe were questioning Baek Junun, the person assigned to monitor Lee So-jun. Baek Junun immediately cried in justice. "My eyes have been locked on Lee So-jun the entire time. I didn't even dare blink. I used hundreds of bottles of eye drops for this." Speaking of eye drops, I recommend Chinsimi brand eye drops. I also investigated his grades, relationships, and health condition in my spare time. I guarantee that none of my regular reports missed anything. So, I don't understand why he keeps getting dragged into so many incidents either. For a moment, no one could really argue with that. They were not completely unreasonable people after all. Since things had already come to this, let's just dig in first. Baek Junun sighed helplessly. "You really will put anything in your mouth." Still, if Lee So-jun truly encountered danger, he would step in. Everyone trusted him on that point. The scarred man nearby suddenly spoke up. "I have a question. Why do we have to go through all this trouble just to meet them? And why do we have to dress up as petty thieves? This doesn't look cool at all." Someone else thought that playing a little cosplay once in a while was kind of fun. Besides, this is a necessary measure to avoid drawing the attention of other hunters. Bert also ordered us to hold back and avoid hurting innocent people. So we have to move quietly. The scarred man immediately lost even more confidence. "That sounds way too hard. I have no confidence at all, especially when it comes to holding back against others." Back with Bert. At this moment, Bert had already prepared a lavish meal to entertain Kim Sunwoo's group. She also smiled and told everyone not to feel burdened, since they might be going through some hardship over the next few days. Lee So-jun hadn't expected to enjoy such a feast while taking on a mission, and he immediately felt healed. Kim Sunwoo had already started digging in silently on the side. Free food was free food. Still, as he ate, he couldn't help thinking that it didn't taste as good as the meal he had with Han Se-yeon. At the same time, he began thinking through the next part of the plot. Although they were currently inside the enemy's base, ironically, this place was a rare safe zone for now. A few hours later, members of Organization Joe would disguise themselves as thieves and infiltrate the mansion. Their goal was not to cause panic, but to test Lee Seo-jun, that special existence. If someone like Jang Yi saw their true faces, they would be executed on the spot. Jang Yi could not understand why Kim Sunwoo was smiling so terrifyingly. And why was he staring at her while smiling like that? Just then, Executive Burt suddenly spoke from the side. "Looks like I can finally relax tonight. Not only are you the youngest A-rank mage, but you've also cleared a hidden dungeon." Then she glanced toward Kim Sunwoo, who was sitting nearby. "Is he the person you saved back then?" Lee So-jun nodded, looking slightly guilty. Kim Sunwoo was completely confused. How had the conversation suddenly shifted to him? Burt then brought up Choi Se-yeon, who had been with them at the time. Lee So-jun explained that she had some family matters to deal with, so she couldn't join them this time. Hearing that, Burt revealed a meaningful smile. "What a shame. With talent as incredible as yours, your family must be very happy and proud of you." But when Lee So-jun heard that, his expression darkened slightly. "I wish that were the case. But I don't have a family. It's not that they left me or anything. that just don't even know what kind of people they are. Still, if my family really exists somewhere, I hope they can be proud of me. Bert quickly looked apologetic. I'm sorry. I got carried away and asked something very rude. But I do understand that feeling a little. I'm an orphan too. As she spoke, her small hand lightly rested on Lee Seo-jun's hand. But I don't let that discourage me, because I believe family can be created for yourself. So from here on, let's work hard together. The dinner ended in that seemingly warm atmosphere. Afterward, Lee Seo-jun began assigning everyone's tasks. The general arrangements were already set, so each person only needed to patrol their assigned area. Johnny tried to find a chance to pull Lee Seo-jun aside and whisper a few words to him. But in the very next second, Kim Sen-woo swooped in and snatched him away. When Senior Jang Yi saw Lee Seo-jun being taken away by Kim Sun-woo, her expression turned terrifyingly fierce. Seeing that, Shin Young-jun was stunned. Was this the legendary love triangle? Thinking of that, Shin Young-jun couldn't help sucking in a cold breath. What kind of melodramatic soap opera was this? Then he looked at Yu-ara beside him and asked quietly, "What do we do now?" You saw that woman's expression just now, right? Yu-ara thought he was talking about the way Bert had touched Lee Seo-jun's hand, so she snapped back. "You're asking me? Who am I supposed to ask?" After saying that, she left without looking back. Meanwhile, Kim Sun-woo was explaining some ways to make patrols more efficient to Lee Seo-jun. In truth, those methods weren't especially useful. But as long as they could move Lee Seo-jun away from places where accidents might happen, that was enough. After finishing, Kim Sun-woo casually asked, "Anything you don't understand?" Lee Seo-jun stayed silent for a moment before saying, "There's something I don't understand, but it's about you. When you were learning manifestation magic, your mana was clearly lacking. But in the hidden stage earlier, you fought like you had unlimited mana. In that style of casting magic head-on while precisely targeting the enemy's weak points reminds me of someone. From your appearance to your combat style, you're just too similar to him." Kim Sun-woo's heart tightened, and he quickly explained, "Don't misunderstand. I'm just a small fry. Don't go mistaking me for that mage." Lee Seo-jun looked confused. "What are you talking about? That mage is the hero who cleared the hidden floor of the tower and subdued a demon alone. He has to be more than 10 times stronger than you. What I'm actually curious about is who taught you that combat style. And you told me not to hide my power, so why are you hiding your own strength?" Kim Sun-woo was just about to explain when Yu-ara also walked over. He isn't hiding his strength. He has no other choice. Seeing Yu-ara appear too, Kim Sun-woo's heart sank. Looks like things were about to spiral out of control again. Lee Seo-jun turned to Yu-ara and asked what she meant. Yu-ara explained, "In certain cases, psychological factors can lock a person's magic release pattern in place, creating a major gap between mana capacity and actual output. To put it simply, Kim Sun-woo isn't improving himself right now. He's recovering the ability he originally had." The moment she said that, the system immediately displayed a notification. "You have gained Lee Seo-jun's admiration." Kim Sun-woo froze on the spot. Seriously? Yu-ara's explanation was that far off, and somehow it still worked? Lee Seo-jun also hadn't expected Kim Sun-woo to be a hidden brain type character. But then he quickly asked, "Then what was the potion you took inside the hidden stage?" Kim Sun-woo's brain spun at full speed as he desperately tried to figure out how to bluff his way through this. After a long moment, he let out a heavy sigh. "So you finally noticed. The truth is, I've been hiding this from everyone because I didn't want people to pity me." After barely squeezing out a few tears, Kim Sun-woo immediately turned around and sprinted back into the villa. Looks like he had managed to dodge the question again this time. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo sighed again. Still, this villa really did have a ridiculous number of valuable items, and this villa was only one of Executive Bert's many hideouts across the world. Were all villains this rich? The crazier part was that these items were not even Bert's true wealth. Her truly precious collections were kept separately in some secret location. Thinking of that, a sinister smile slowly curled across Kim Sun-woo's face. Then, he bought a low-grade mana concealment potion from the shop. Right now, everyone was focused on their own tasks, so no one knew that the real thief had already slipped into the mansion. It was time for some righteous wealth redistribution. After Kim Sun-woo left, Lee Seo-jun and Yu-ara were still watching his back. Yu-ara couldn't help asking, if Kim Sun-woo wasn't hiding his strength, what rank would he actually be? Lee Seo-jun thought for a moment. "I can't say for sure, but in our class, I think he would be at least around 15th. Yu-ara sounded disappointed. "I thought you understood his strength better than anyone. Looks like I overestimated you." After saying that, she also turned and left. What Yu-Ara did not know was that the 15th place Lee So-jun mentioned was not Kim Sun-woo's ceiling, it was his floor. Possessing a massive amount of mana alone did not make someone an excellent mage. But if that person had both enormous mana and extremely precise magic control, and if that was Kim Sun-woo's real ability, then he was truly terrifying. Just then, a faint sound of footsteps interrupted Lee So-jun's thoughts. Jang Yi appeared before him. Back with Kim Sun-woo, he was preparing to activate Outsider Privilege and analyze the magical defense in front of him. Outsider Privilege could indeed analyze any magical structure, but a restriction personally set up by Bert would not be that easy to undo. More importantly, Bert was extremely powerful. Inside this villa, even the slightest mana fluctuation could be noticed by her. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo bought a low-grade mana concealment potion from the shop. Its effect was to hide the mana flow produced by C-rank and lower magic for 10 minutes. Now, it was time to see whether Bert's eyes could be fooled. With that thought, Kim Sun-woo activated Outsider Privilege. Before long, the magical defense in front of him was successfully dismantled, and the hidden door inside the grandfather clock slowly opened. The moment Kim Sun-woo stepped inside, he was stunned by the dazzling collection of treasures. He knew villains were rich, but he hadn't expected Bert to be this rich. There was even the latest unreleased senior club art book inside. Now, all of it belonged to him. Meanwhile, on the other side, a member of the mercenary group suddenly felt that something was off. They said this place was frequently robbed, but tonight it was far too quiet. And when he had inspected the surroundings earlier, this area was clearly still a monster activity zone. As long as someone strayed even slightly from the main road, they could run into high-level monsters roaming everywhere. Even if those thieves were after the artworks, there was no need to take such a huge risk. Hearing that, the mercenary captain shook his head. We're just here to get paid and do the job. Just treat it like an insurance scam staged by the client. Instead of guessing what the client is really after, you should spend more time thinking about how to recruit Lee So-jun. But the squad member asked back, Captain, do you really believe that? Before the mercenary captain could answer, their bodies were instantly twisted into two grotesque lumps by the man. Right after that, Jang Yi appeared as well. The man looked at her and said, Thanks to you, I found this place without any trouble. Jang Yi shook her head. I only did what I should. I just ask that you give me a chance to personally end Lee So-jun's life. The man calmly shook his head. Until we confirm whether he is the prophesied child, no one is allowed to touch him. Just then, Lee So-jun arrived and shouted, Jang Yi, get out of the way. In the next instant, a flash of sword light slashed toward the man, only for him to block it with ease. Lee So-jun immediately rushed to Jang Yi's side, grabbed her, and turned to run. Running away was not Lee So-jun's style, but this so-called thief was far too strong. Worse still, this thief was a demon. Just facing that overwhelming demonic energy made Lee So-jun short of breath, feeling like his body was about to burst under the pressure. Even before a real fight began, every pore in his body was already telling him the truth. This thief was a genuine S-rank demon. If Lee So-jun fought him head-on right now, it would be absolute suicide. Watching Lee So-jun retreat, the man actually looked impressed. That kid has good judgment. He did not chase after him. Instead, several more demons appeared behind him. The man asked calmly, Did you deal with everyone? One demon nodded. The mercenaries standing guard around the mansion have all been sent to meet their maker. The man nodded in satisfaction. Good. Next, kill every student inside the mansion except Lee So-jun. As soon as he gave the order, the demons rushed into the mansion. Since this was the king's command, they would not allow a single variable to remain. Meanwhile, Yu-Ara could hardly believe what Lee So-jun had told them. She thought this was just a simple guard mission, but the so-called thief had turned out to be an S-rank demon. Lee So-jun said grimly, I think the Black Flame mercenary group has probably been wiped out. You saw it too, right, Senior Jang Yi? Jang Yi nodded with a pale face. If it weren't for So-jun, I would have been in danger too. Yu-Ara could only feel speechless. Anyone else would have saved her too, right? Poor Sun-woo really did get himself caught in a messy love triangle. But now was not the time to make snarky comments. They needed outside help fast. The problem was that Miss Burt had gone out earlier to buy academic supplies, and they were deep in the mountains, with no phone signal at all. Lee So-jun thought they should ask Kim Sun-woo what to do. But after calling him several times, no one answered. Disaster was literally knocking on their door, and that guy was still sleeping like a log? Yu-Ara instantly felt her anger rising. But when they checked the bed, Kim Seon-woo was nowhere to be found. Lee So-jun's expression tightened. Where had he run off to at a time like this? The outside was crawling with demons. If he ran into one, he was finished. With that, Lee Seo-jun immediately rushed outside. Back with Kim Sun-woo, having successfully looted the treasure room, his face was glowing with uncontrollable joy. He never thought that in this life, he would actually get to see the latest senior club art book. This trip had been completely worth it. No need to thank him. He was simply helping Executive Bert liquidate her inventory. As a guard, that was basically his duty. Now, all he had to do was return before anyone noticed. In the original story, this incident was not solved by Lee Seo-jun himself. It ended through the intervention of a third party. With things this chaotic right now, no one should be paying attention to him. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo stepped out of the grandfather clock. But in the next second, Kim Sun-woo froze on the spot. A demon was standing right in front of him. The demon grinned. "Looks like my luck is pretty good. I just got in and already found one. Mwahaha." As soon as he finished speaking, the demon attacked Kim Sun-woo. Kim Sun-woo dodged the attack, but his mind was full of confusion. Why was a demon here? He immediately summoned his spatial pocket and pulled out a scroll. The next moment, Kim Sun-woo activated the scroll and summoned a beast. The instant the hell serpent manifested, it coiled tightly around the demon. Kim Sun-woo thought this should be enough to deal with him. What he didn't know was that the demon was actually thrilled inside. He had thought this would be a simple mission, but somehow he had even stumbled into a bondage package. But in the next second, he was no longer thrilled, because the hell serpent's jaws were already about to swallow his head. At the critical moment, the demon sneered. "You think I'll tell you? I'd rather jump off a cliff, get eaten alive by the snake, or drop dead right here than answer a single question of yours." But before he could finish talking, Kim Sun-woo killed him. As expected, these villains only knew how to run their mouths, without saying anything useful. Still, the fact that demons had already reached this place meant the guards and mercenaries outside the mansion had probably been wiped out. Thinking that, Kim Sun-woo's heart sank. This guy was only B rank. There was no way he could silently eliminate those experienced mercenaries on his own. That meant there were more demons here, and stronger ones too. There might even be an S-rank demon among them. Maybe that man had come personally, the king's most trusted aide, the one the demons called Lord Sumjin. Kim Sun-woo couldn't understand where the plot had gone wrong again. But one thing was clear. He absolutely could not let Lee Seo-jun clash with those people head-on. Meanwhile, on the other side, at this moment, Shin Young-jun's group had already been attacked by demons. But after trying for a long time, the demons still couldn't break in. This infuriated the demons, but there was nothing they could do. The entrance was too narrow, harder to penetrate than Senior Insoon from the club art book, so they couldn't all rush in at once. Just then, the demon mage suddenly gathered magic in his hand. "Why are we wasting time with them? I'll just blow this place open with one spell." As he spoke, he hurled the spell straight at Shin Young-jun. Seeing that, Shin Young-jun's heart went cold, thinking his goose was completely cooked. But just then, a fireball shot out from inside. The fireball not only erased the demon's spell, but also blasted a large number of demons to death. Shin Young-jun was dumbfounded. "If you had power like that, why did you make me stand in front, and couldn't you warn me before attacking? What if you accidentally hit me?" Yura replied calmly, "I believed you could dodge." Still, even Yura herself had not expected that spell to be so powerful. It seemed her focused training had finally started paying off. But that level of firepower still wasn't enough to deal with so many demons. Just then, the demons who should have been dead started standing up again. Before long, they launched another attack at Shin Young-jun's group. Seeing that, Shin Young-jun immediately stood in front of the two girls and said with a serious face, "Senior Johnny, I'll definitely protect you." But he had no idea that behind him, Johnny was already circulating mana through her body, preparing to ambush them from behind. As long as she killed these two first, she could find Lee Seo-jun and repeat the same trick. With that thought, Jang Yi attacked the two of them from behind. But at that very moment, a blinding flash of sword light erupted ahead. The sword light swept through the corridor, swallowing every demon in its path, almost instantly. In that moment, it was as if they had never existed at all. Only the deep trench carved across the corridor floor served as a reminder that what had just happened was no illusion. Rewinding a bit, Lee Seo-jun had rushed out of the room to look for Kim Sun-woo out of worry. But even after searching almost the entire mansion, he could not find a single trace of Kim Sun-woo anywhere. An ominous thought flashed through Lee Seo-jun's mind. Had Kim Sun-woo already been killed by the demons? Just then, the demon leader Chen Zhen appeared before him. Chen Zhen sneered. "I knew that if I waited here, you would come to me on your own. Draw your sword, Lee Seo-jun. Before you die, I'll give you a chance to duel me." Lee Sojun was filled with anxiety, knowing very well that this enemy was not someone his current self could defeat. Even the hand gripping his sword had started trembling. But even so, he couldn't just turn and run. If he gave everything he had, maybe he could escape. But everyone else would definitely die. With that thought, Lee Sojun hardened his resolve. It seemed there was only one thing left to try. The next moment, launching himself forward on his flying sword, he charged straight at Chen Zhen. But his attack was easily blocked by Chen Zhen's greatsword. Chen Zhen said calmly, "Your sword is still too weak." As soon as he finished speaking, he delivered a brutal kick to Lee Sojun. That kick hit like a freight train, sending Lee Sojun flying dozens of meters away. Before Lee Sojun could even catch his breath, Chen Zhen advanced with his sword again. "You are the most promising mage I've ever seen. If I met you a few years later, even I might not be your match. Unfortunately, you're still too young right now." With that, he thrust his sword fiercely toward Lee Sojun. But Lee Sojun used a burst of mystical Eastern footwork and barely dodged the strike. Chen Zhen was startled. "I didn't expect you to have learned movement techniques this profound. But dodging alone won't save your life. Stop hiding. Or do you think I'm not worthy of making you use your demon-slaying power?" Lee Sojun gritted his teeth. "I have no idea what this demon-slaying power is," Chen Zhen said coldly. "Still playing dumb at a time like this? Why do you think I personally came to this remote place? My king has already determined that you are the legendary prophesied child. All you need to do now is prove it, then die quietly by my hand." Lee Sojun replied in a low voice. "Do you really think playing dumb would let me walk out of here unharmed anyway? First of all, I know nothing about this demon-slaying power, or prophesied child nonsense. And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you." Chen Zhen's anger exploded. "Then take those secrets with you to hell." With that, he raised his greatsword, ready to split Lee Sojun in half. But when the blade was just 0.001 centimeters away from Lee Sojun's scalp, a sudden tremor of dread pierced Chen Zhen's heart. By the time he realized what was happening, his own body had already been pulverized. Seeing the S-rank demon suddenly torn apart before him, Lee Sojun was completely stunned. He had given everything he had and still could not scratch that monster. Yet this spell had done it with ease. What the hell was this magic?